Let's see here. I'm gonna go to my dashboard.
You know what? Wait, before you go on live.
I just went live. What are you gonna say? Something extremely
Nah,
important?
it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
All right, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can people see me?
My dashboard.
Dee.
You know what? Wait, before you go on live. Oh no.
I just went live. What are you gonna say? Something extremely important?
Oh shoot. Oh yeah, mute me. Was that? I was so confused if you were talking or not.
Yeah, no, I was
I was like, are you repeating the same exact thing?
No, I had a separate window open.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just tweet this real quick. But for now, what's up everyone? How's it going? Yes, we all here. Join me and Danny.
I'll retweet you as well. Should I just open a YouTube window and then mute that? I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you can just like look at the chat and mute it if you want.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
God, my thumbnail's so ugly, right? I just Googled it and just got that. I was like, okay, well, what is basically representative? The loudest accuser and Michael Jackson. It'll suffice. All right, welcome everybody. I'm here today with Danny Wu. Shoot, am I? Oh my God, I think my audio is lagging from my video again. Why does it always do this? I'm lagging my video, aren't I, guys? Is it? Dang it. Damn it. Why does it do this? I don't know what it... I don't know how I'm supposed to do it the other way. This dumb webcam, I paid money for it. You know, I didn't get it for free. I'm gonna have to go to crappy quality webcam. Or what if it's actually my mic that's bad? No, it's definitely the video. Okay.
Okay, that's awesome.
I might just go on I don't know what to do.
Yeah, everyone's saying that it's lagging.
Okay. So, welcome everybody. Today we're gonna be talking about the Michael Jackson accusations. Now, this is something that I was like nervous about. I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram story. Some of you guys might follow me on there, but when I first like watched the documentary. Okay, and actually to be completely transparent, I did not finish watching the documentary. I watched 3 out of 4 hours. Okay, so it's if you guys don't know, there's a documentary called Leaving Neverland, and it's 2 episodes. 2 hours long each, and as I was watching, I was like, what is this real? Are we really using our emotional brains with absolute like dismissing like any sort of, I don't know. Okay, it was just like a lot of like weird thinking. But as I was thinking these thoughts, I saw everybody eating it up. I mean, everybody, I don't know if you guys are familiar, or well, I mean, most of you probably are familiar with H3H3, but he was one of the loudest YouTube voices, at least, that was like eating it up as if it was a birthday cake, you know? And I'm just like, damn, this is what you want to use your voice for, huh? Let me see. My thing keeps lagging no matter what I do. I think I'm gonna have to go to my laptop webcam. But yeah, basically, I just want to say that I was never like a big MJ fan at all. Like, I didn't know many songs more than most of you, you know, the ones that had music videos and that were always on the radio kind of thing. I liked him just as much as any other person. I never bought any of his merch or any CDs or anything like that. No real attachment. I mean, it was a sad day when he passed. I remember being like, damn, oh man, because he's no matter how you look at it, whether you're a fan or not, you can acknowledge that he was an icon.
I'm calling the Palhihis.
My gal, okay, Mina always, I don't know why I got so big, but Mina always donates with these really silly names. Okay, I don't know how to make it smaller. That's a really big penguin.
Right.
But yeah, so anyway, I had a lot of questions because these accusers that are on the Leaving Neverland documentary raise a lot of questions for me. Like, if anything, it made me more curious about the topic, you know? Sometimes these kinds of things do the opposite of what they're meant to. And as I started looking into it, I bumped into this YouTuber's name, this YouTuber named Danny Wu, and he did some videos on the whole case, and I was like, wow, okay. And it was interesting to me because he's actually like a fan since he was like a teenager, and so he's got a lot more attachment, a lot to the whole issue, and a lot more knowledge than I do. And I was like, hey, you want to come on and co-host with me? And he said yes. So I'm like, hell yes, because like I'm passionate, but I don't got all the details in my head just yet. Got a lot of it, and I want to cover in a video, but I'm not yet. Guys, I know I'm lagging. I'm like talking while I'm actively trying to fix the webcam. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go to my laptop webcam, which I don't want to do. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna lag forever, I think. I don't know what's going on with the video. I don't know. Wyatt. That wasn't you, Mina? I'm just gonna have to go on the HD webcam. Wait, now my laptop webcam don't want to work? That's funny. Who's trying to cancel my live stream here? Let's see what the chat has been saying here. Thank you, Jen G. She says, "I'm poor, but yes, defend our king." King of pop. Have you seen Razor's Fist video? Yeah. Once you go down the rabbit hole, you can't just not watch all of them. You know what I mean? There's quite a few. Like at this point, here's the thing. At this point, if you're really like blindly just, I'm sorry, not blindly. If you're here believing every single thing that Wade Robson and James Safechuck are saying about Michael Jackson, then you're ignorantly choosing to do so because there's so much more information now. Like at first, when I was like afraid to speak up, there wasn't that much yet, right? But at this point, there's a plethora of YouTube videos that are just willing to educate you on every single issue that you have read on a tabloid headline. What does Link say? What does Danny say? Link to his channel. I believe I put the link in the description of this live stream. So if you like, click show more, you can go to it. But anyways, what do you say? Have you seen the chat? I haven't been able to look at the chat, Danny, because I've wait, introduce yourself, by the way. I kind of like casually introduce yourself. Yeah, just introduce yourself in your own words now.
Right, I really like that intro you gave because it means a lot coming from someone who's not a fan. As you guys know, I was a Michael Jackson fan at the peak in 2008. That's when I started becoming a fan. I think that's when the 25th anniversary of Thriller came out. There was a lot of tributes on television. So in 2008, I became a fan, and I did a lot of research online. I learned all the dance moves, you know, and I always just thought that, you know, I didn't think too much about it. I was just a fan of his music. But in the back of my mind, as I grew older, the allegations were always there. And I never really looked into it because I was scared of what I'll find. And when Wade Robson and Jim Safechuck first sued the estate, I must say at that time, I definitely was leaning towards Michael Jackson being guilty. I wasn't really comfortable discussing Michael Jackson at all in the 2014, 2015 year range. When Leaving Neverland came out, though, I thought that it was time that I make a video on Michael Jackson. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to get both sides of the story, right? The people who defend Michael Jackson and the people who think he's guilty, and make a 50-50 YouTube video. But what ended up happening was that the more I looked into it, the more I just felt that the evidence pointed to Michael Jackson being innocent. So I made a couple of videos defending Michael Jackson. That kind of blew up a little bit. And I reached out to Taj Jackson, Brandy Jackson, the niece and nephew of Michael Jackson, and they agreed to do an interview with me. So that's basically my YouTube Michael Jackson history.
So that's a nice little bio, by the way. That's pretty good. And I also want to make it clear, by the way, right here, guys, that because this is always something that comes off that is like when someone says that they want to like look into or research something, it doesn't mean. So for instance, with this specific case with Michael Jackson, we talked about this right before the stream, and neither I or him are saying that Michael Jackson wasn't a weirdo. Like, no, nobody's doubting that. Yeah, he was definitely out there. You know, he was definitely very eccentric, very out there, and did unconventional things. Sure, but what we're trying to kind of make note of is the questionable discrepancies in the stories being told here. Because when you're going, okay, now I might be getting the figure wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read that it was $1.5 billion that Wade Robson and James Safechuck sued the Michael Jackson estate for. Was that
that was the initial number? That was the initial number.
Right. Yeah, that's what
Right
they
now-
wanted essentially
Right now, it's in the
initially.
hundreds of millions range.
And then they knocked it to how much? How much did it go down to?
Just now, it's unclear, but it's definitely in the hundreds of millions range.
Hundreds of millions, cheese and rice. I guess the one that I want to start off with lightly is the whole issue of like separating the art from the artist, right? People always go with the whole like, well, geez, he did all these horrible things, but it's unclear. In the end, it's unclear, because if you watch the Leaving Neverland documentary and you're really convinced by the emotional weight of the people's words, then that really is it. It's still not clear whether he did what they're claiming. Once you really look into the details, it's completely unclear. And if anything, those two people's stories are probably the least clear. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I don't know. I guess it's up for debate, but I guess what I'm trying to say, excuse me, I don't know if you guys heard my burp, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's always interesting when people want to just cancel Michael Jackson, right? Because there was a video from TMZ where Wade Robson, the main accuser, recent one, said that he didn't really care or want people to have to mute Michael Jackson, right? But now he's saying that he's disappointed that the VMAs are keeping the Michael Jackson name and the Michael Jackson Vanguard Music Video Award or something like that. And
Right.
it kind of doesn't go hand in hand. I feel like when you make such bold accusations, when you're asking for this much money, your line of thinking should be at least consistent. And if not, then don't talk to the press about it, you know? And I saw a tweet by Judd Apatow, which I'm a big fan of his movies, right? Seth Rogen, I guess in the mid to late 2000s. Seth Rogen was in a bunch of Judd Apatow movies. And I love his movies, but then he tweeted this, and I only saw it because Danny quote tweeted it, actually. So, let me see if I can get it out. But let me see real quick. How can you believe Timothy Heller but not them? Your bias is showing once again. Okay. This is what we call a false equivalency. Okay, because. And once again, if you're open-minded enough, you can see the large amount of, and I don't wanna change the topic here. I want to talk about Michael Jackson. In the end, towards the end of the video, if you want to talk about Timothy Hill or whatever, we can. But you will see the loads of proof that stack up mountains upon mountains on like what these people are saying that contradict what they've been saying.
Edwin, if I could just jump in, I see a comment here that says that I think your understanding of the emotion consistency of abuse victims is incredibly disheartening. What I want to also add is that that's definitely what people fear when we go into a topic like this, because we don't want to be labeled as pedo apologists or something like that. So, but if you think about it, the 4 accusers that Michael Jackson had, the first guy, Jordan Chandler, his father went to a civil suit lawyer. The second person, Gavin Arvizo, his parents went to a civil lawyer as well first. Wade Robson and Jamie Safechuck then didn't realize they were abused for 20 years or 30 years. So none of the accusers really have like a consistency regarding their accusations.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, that's what's hard about discussing this whole topic to begin with. That's why I was afraid, because people will look at it, and that's what I want to ask people, because people assume that I am against abuse victims or something. But I want to ask, how much do you know about these victims? Do you know their names? Do you know what their claims even are? Because a lot of people just blindly believe without even looking into it, and then they just want to accuse Michael Jackson because of all the tabloids and what they've said.
Right, and I think you touched on this earlier. I wouldn't go as far as to call Michael Jackson a weirdo, obviously, because due to the circumstances of everyone's childhood, we all grow up to be who we are. And Michael Jackson is someone who's had a extremely difficult childhood, is compensating basically for what he lost in childhood. He used to talk about when he was young, and he would dream about being able to play with other kids his age. You know, he wasn't able to do that. He was on tour with his brothers. So when he got older, you know, in his head, it's what he does to compensate. That's why he has an amusement park. That's why he has sleepovers with children of all genders and adults as well. That's another thing that people don't mention. Michael Jackson didn't just have sleepovers with. He had sleepovers with little girls. He had sleepovers with adults. He had sleepovers with all kinds of people because that's what he enjoyed doing.
And here's also the thing. Also, when society has changed in such an interesting way, where I'm trying to change my webcam again. By the way, guys, that's me controlling the blacking out. But for some reason, okay, here we go. I'm just gonna go to my crappy quality webcam. It looks like it still has lag. Gosh dang it, guys! I don't know what this video lag. I think I'm just gonna be stuck with it. But I feel like society has changed in a way where if you were to say out loud like, "Oh, I love kids," like the recipient of that message is gonna be like, "Whoa, what? Are you some sort of creep? Like what do you do with kids, right?" Whereas, like 15, 20 years ago, it wasn't that weird to be like, "Yeah, I love being around kids. Kids are great." Like, you know, like
right.
You don't question every single teacher that teaches kindergarten, like, "Hey, so what do you do in nap time or whatever?" Like, not everybody that loves the vibrations and the innocence of kids is a pedophile. It's not really that black and white with that kind of thinking.
Or things like in the documentary, they would show the letters that Michael Jackson wrote Wade Robson, and he would say stuff like, "Rehearse, I love you. Please rehearse. You will own the world one day." These are letters that Michael Jackson basically sent everyone that he was close to. You know, while I was at Taj Jackson's place, he was showing me the mountains of letters Michael sent to him, calling him Applehead, calling himself Uncle Doo Doo. You know, basically identical. So these were things that people did back in the day that we don't do anymore. No one sends letters anymore. So when you look at that through a 2019 lens, it does look weird, but that was the norm back then.
Right. And I mean, if I see a lot, it's good that we have some passionate people here. You know, I get it. Like, yeah, of course, it's hella unconventional. And if you guys, if you guys want to hop in a call or whatever, if you're that passionate, we can talk about it. But one thing, because it's good to have a healthy like conversation. Because here, again, I want to emphasize, we're not here to shame people. Okay, I know I have a very diverse crowd that's like really passionate, and that's great. That's fantastic. But first, I want to just kind of address this. This is an example of how we don't have conversations, guys. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this whole Vanguard Music Award, right? So Judd Apatow says that it was disgusting that MTV and Viacom still call the award Michael Jackson Award. Are they that out of touch? Do they even care, or do they not care? Are they just serving the interests of their friends who benefit from the estate? Now, I don't know what that's even referring to, but I asked him, "I love your movies and I say this with the utmost respect, but your tweet ironically seems out of touch. Are you really choosing not to care and ignore the replies of your tweet? Or do you actually have rebuttals to the provable lies you're choosing to defend?" Because as you can see, there's 559 replies, and most of them are not in his favor. You know, most of them are trying to show him the evidence of where he's wrong. So yeah, and then somebody said, "Edwin, no." And first of all, like, when someone says something like that to me, it does kind of remind me of like sassy people in high school were just like, no, and like, okay, so you just want to cut me off without like really showing sort of some perspective. So I said to them, "No, what? You don't want to hear that anything that debunks your beliefs, or no, you don't have any rebuttals told to the lies told by Wade?" And then they say, "El Mayo, you are getting very defensive here. I'll let you cool down." So I said, "Oh no, I'm sorry if you felt attacked, or I'm sorry you felt attacked. I was just wondering," smiley face. And then they made two replies to that tweet. The first one said, "I try not to engage with men who get very hostile with me. However, you appear to exhibit black and white thinking. You could have left it at no what, and that would have sufficed." And I said, "I apologize. I felt your Edwin no response was kind of shutting me down, as if I said something stupid or out of line. So I was just trying to get an understanding as to not assume that was the case. No hostility intended." Like, you know, I was just trying to be like, "I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. I was just trying to see why you would just say Edwin no." like try to actually engage in the conversation, but instead they just like, sorry, not interested because you're a man that is hostile. And I'm like, okay, no hostility intended. And then they also made another reply to the same tweet, and they said also, I'm sorry you felt attacked. Is very passive aggressive. I am done talking to someone who chooses to be rude and condescending. Goodbye, Edwin. And I said, I feel like you're misreading me, as it seems that I misread you. Just so you know, I had no sarcasm or anything. All good though. Bye to you. Goodbye to you too. But I think it's interesting when someone says that I was condescending when they literally said, LMAO, wow, you're getting very defensive here. Like, is that not condescending in itself? Am I crazy here, guys? I just need to know a little bit, like, what do you think, Danny? Am I crazy here?
No, and also, and the elephant in the room is that Judd Apatow used to be a Michael Jackson defender, right?
Oh yeah.
In 2013, when the Radar Online article leaked, right? That is the article that said that Michael Jackson had child porn in his house, that Michael Jackson had naked photo shoots with his nephews, like a bunch of, like when people look into the Michael Jackson cases, unfortunately, a lot of times that's where they get their information from, is that Radar Online article, which claimed that Michael Jackson had child porn in his house. And of course, Michael Jackson never had child porn in his house. He was never arrested for that. He was never charged for that. But Radar Online was actually forced to remove that article even because it was false. And the Jackson family actually sued them. So Judd Apatow once tweeted that he didn't believe that article because they would have used it in trial if it was true. So that was before Judd Apatow started working for HBO, though. You see, Judd Apatow's daughter is in an HBO show now. Ever since then, everything has changed.
Damn. You see, like, this is why I brought Danny on, and I'm glad I did, because he's like an encyclopedia. I didn't know there was such a backstory to Judd Apatow. I thought it was just that reply that I just showed, where he was like, going to the MJ show.
Yeah, exactly. You know, before he started working for HBO, he even went to the Michael Jackson One Show premiere.
Right, yeah, that's the tweet that I was showing. Someone's telling him that.
Yeah, exactly. So there's definitely some suspicions going around with who says what.
Yeah, for sure. But okay, so that was kind of the start. Okay, I'm glad that we can all agree. Even I'm sure people that even like are anti-Michael Jackson, they can agree that, hey, that girl, that's not how you converse, guys. And I mean, I think it's important to look at all sides of the coin here, because everybody deserves a fair trial, and unfortunately Michael Jackson can't get one because he's passed away. So we only got the court of public opinion, which is the route that Wade Robson and James Safechuck have chosen to take with their documentary, right? They
right.
wanted this to be a public conversation. So it's
right.
not like, I don't know why it's like a shameful thing to just be like, okay, but how come you said this? How come you said that? I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example of one of the contradictions that he said, but I'm like drawing a blank.
For who?
From the documentary, like there's so many contradictions that they said, right?
Right. The two biggest contradictions here would be from Wade Robson's side. We have that from the deposition that leaked yesterday. It showed that there's a discrepancy between the first time he claimed he was abused. So in the deposition, he claimed that he was abused his second night at Neverland while his sister was upstairs. In the film, however, he claims that first time he was abused was actually while his family went on to a Grand Canyon trip, but he stayed back alone with Michael Jackson, and that's where Michael Jackson got sexual with him. Another problem with that story, though, is that Mike Smallcombe, a journalist who's been on this topic, Mike Smallcombe actually got a copy of the 2016 depositions and the 2005 depositions, and what he found out was that Wade Robson was actually on that trip to the Grand Canyon.
Exactly.
So,
that's what I was about to add too, because it's that story. So it's like three contradictions within one statement. And you just have to remember, this isn't something that Wade said like 10 years ago or 15 years ago that he misremembered. This is something that he said under oath in the deposition just less than 3 years ago. So like, it's not something, and the film was made like last year. So literally less than 2 years within saying this, he changed the story within 2 years. It just
right. And another part is the whole narrative of the story, right? Wade Robson claims that Michael Jackson kept him away from girls. He said that in part 2 of Leaving Neverland. He said that Michael Jackson told him that girls were evil, just stay clear of them. That, however, is false because Michael Jackson actually set Wade Robson up with his own niece, Brandy Jackson.
Yeah.
And Brandy Jackson, she came on my podcast as well. She was on also Neverland Firsthand, which is Liam McEwen's documentary. She did a great interview there as well, where she talked about how Michael actually set Wade and herself up, and they had a 10-year-long relationship. Okay, this is supposedly when the abuse was happening, and Wade Robson was dating Michael Jackson's niece the entire time.
And you would think that in the documentary they would bring that up, right?
Right. You don't even hear about her.
So I want to say, someone in the chat said only Edwin could go on a tangent for like 5 minutes about how a girl got in an argument with him on Twitter. Oh man, I don't know what kind of emotion you put into that, but that's funny. That's probably actually the reason why I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm doing a live stream, because like, so shout out to that girl for convincing me to do a live stream, essentially.
Right.
But yeah, something that like I think is very irresponsible about the documentary is blatantly ignoring to even seek for comments on any opposing sides. You know what I mean? Like for me as a YouTuber, like when I started doing more controversy related videos, when I started doing like video responses and stuff, say like Mars Argo and Poppy, like I never reached out to them because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just kind of reporting, and eventually people reached out to me, and I was like, oh yeah, it feels cool to like get insight and personal perspective. And obviously, with every single story since earlier this year, I've been reaching out to people. I think it's only the fair thing to do. And I'm just a fucking YouTuber, dude. I don't have HBO to back me up. And these people that call themselves documentarians can't even reach out to anybody on the other opposing side. Like,
right.
And here's the thing: if you're gonna do it completely one-sided by choice, that's one thing. But to name drop someone like Brett Barnes and Macaulay Culkin in your thing, who have and to implicate that they were abused after them, to completely implicate that is so irresponsible, dude. I think it's so disgusting when people say, yeah, that person was abused after me, when they're saying, no, I wasn't, because now you have all these people going up to this guy saying, yeah, right, you're probably covering up for Michael Jackson, you sick fuck, and stuff like that. Like, that's not cool, man. Like,
not to mention Jordan Chandler as well. In the documentary, they had a probably 30-minute section on just Jordan, his story, and it was later also revealed that they went after Jonathan Spence as well. Jonathan Spence actually filed legal restraints against them because he didn't want to talk to them. So they were desperate for other people to come out, and that's what they thought the effects of Leaving Neverland would be, that it would trigger a flood of victims like some of the other documentaries, you know, with the Bill Cosby accusations, with the R. Kelly accusations. People thought that Leaving Neverland would have the same effect, except that it reverse effect. Actually, the kids who were close to Michael Jackson only defend him even more now. They're even more adamant that nothing's ever been inappropriate between Michael Jackson and them. So that's an aspect of the film that you just simply can't ignore.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. Let me look through the chat and see what people say.
Right. And so if people want to get a good understanding of Michael Jackson as a person, because it's really hard to understand the context of the cases if you don't understand Michael as a person, how he thinks and stuff like that.
Well, that's the thing. There's two separate things. There's Michael's a person and the cases themselves, because once you start debunking these cases, people will say, well, Michael was a freak. What kind of man would would share a bed or whatever, all this stuff, you know, they'll kind of derail the attention when it's like, okay, hold on, are we talking about this specific case, or are we talking about Michael Jackson, the weirdo? Are we talking
about if Michael Jackson was strange, or are we talking about if he molested children?
Right, exactly. So people, when they kind of run out of things to say, they just kind of say, well, Michael Jackson was a weirdo. Yeah, okay. Nobody, we're not arguing against that, by the way, guys. We acknowledge that he was definitely an interesting fella, to say the least.
He had a very eccentric way of living, and he was very out of touch with reality in its own sense. One of the people used to, my friend Jenny Whining, she's a fan of Michael Jackson, and what she did back in the day was that she would go outside of Neverland and just basically wait for Michael Jackson there. And many times Michael Jackson would just come out and invite them in. That's how easily he trusted his fans, even. Like, what other celebrity would do that?
I mean, Trisha Paytas went to his house and he's just like, oh yeah, come on in. And he just hung out with her. and it wasn't weird. She said herself, it wasn't weird. He just like hanging out with kids. It was definitely a weird thing, but like she said that she didn't think it was weird. Like there's nothing to it, you know. But people want to put this like evil narrative. When you look at it in a sinister context, then of course it's gonna be weird, you know.
Exactly. I was reading an article once, right? It was talking about it was an anti-Michael Jackson article, and it was talking about how Mark Ronson claimed that Michael Jackson had put porn on in his room. And then I found the actual quote, and it was Mark Ronson saying that when he was a kid and he had sleepovers at Neverland, his friends would prank Michael by putting
and he was like, no, I don't want to watch that.
And Michael's like, that's silly. So that they take stuff like that and put it completely out of context.
Yeah.
Which I don't feel is right.
I saw it too. That's funny.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when you casually research Michael Jackson, which is what I basically did, like in the 2014, 2015 era, we had headlines, and it was too much for me.
By the way, hold on 1 second. Take over the chat, all right? Someone's at my door, ringing doorbell. I'll be right back. Good luck.
So I'm taking over the chat, I guess. I want to give a shout out to Liam McEwen for his wonderful documentary called Neverland Firsthand. I want to give a shout out to Charles Thompson for his great storytelling on the podcast. Can't really recall what it's the name of the podcast, but he did it with someone, and he explained Michael Jackson really, really well, the background, and that's what gave me context to who Michael was as a person. Let's read some of the comments. He was lying.
It was just a package.
Oh, nice. Okay, someone brought up LaToya Jackson. Okay, LaToya Jackson. There's literally videos of her where her earpiece malfunctions and she can't hear her husband at the time anymore. She runs off stage. Videos of that exist on the internet. She's clearly being told by her husband what to say.
All right. Okay. Do you have a podcast, Danny? I don't think you have a podcast, right? But he's got quite a bit of content on his own channel, which again is in my description of this live stream. So definitely subscribe to Danny's content if you're interested.
That's the plug.
Yeah, Danny's got a very sexy voice, not sexual.
Yeah, just follow me on Twitter and my YouTube. Let's see.
Trisha didn't say it was weird because she was a child and happy to be someone famous. She did, however, say that her dad was concerned and got weird about it. She said her dad thought it was weird because, like, who doesn't think it's weird to have a bunch of kids? Like, but there's families. She said herself, there's parents everywhere, adults everywhere. There's not like it's not like a child, like, you know, just a children like jail cell or something. You know, her dad thought it was weird because who didn't think it was weird in the year 2000 to go to Michael Jackson's house?
Of course. It's completely weird, and I think it's completely reasonable for parents to be weirded out by that, because that's not something a normal 34-year-old does. But you know what else isn't normal? For someone his age to be having water gun fights with kids, to have an amusement park in his backyard. And I know a lot of people will say that, oh, he's using that for grooming. But if you read the psychologists who've actually studied Michael Jackson, or the psychiatrists, even the psychologist that interviewed Gavin Arvizo, the second accuser, none of them thinks that Michael Jackson fits the profile of a pedophile. You see, pedophiles do own toys and stuff like that, but they do that to lure children in. Michael Jackson, he enjoyed the amusement park as much as the kids did. So that's another myth that I want to dispute, that Michael Jackson fits the profile of a pedophile.
And here's the thing: a lot of people kind of project what they want onto him. Like Lissy in the chat is saying, he's not gonna abuse everyone. What the hell? Abusers strategically choose their victims. Like, okay, so talk about the actual victims, and don't talk about just your generalization, your personification of Michael.
The thing is, though, is that basically from 1993 to right now, all the accusations are all stacked up on the original Jordan Chandler accusation in 1993. So when you look at it that way, if one isn't true, then none of them are true.
Someone says, you have no proof that it isn't true than the accusers that have that true. It's ridiculous for you to pick a side with such certainty, and if it is true, you're defending a pedophile. And if it isn't true, then who are you defending? People that are fucking up the movement for sexual abuse survivors, dude. People don't think about that. People don't think how detrimental liars are for this whole movement. And again, I'm not here to say that they're something is black and white. I'm just trying to point out that people should start thinking more critically instead of just believing with like the Bird Box blindfold, you know? Like just pay attention to what people say and evaluate in a healthy way. Like, I'm not here to like yell at people or whatever, you know? I'm not here to say you're defending a pedophile. Like that's not cool, you know? You don't say that.
Right, and I know a lot of people in the comments are saying that, oh, I'm biased or something like that, but instead of that, if you guys can provide some counter arguments, I would be happy to answer any of them. So.
Exactly. That's what we're saying. Like, so far, everybody that says that, you know, stuff like that believes he's a pedophile or whatever, then okay, tell us why you believe so.
Right. So I do feel that there are some stuff on the internet that would lead people to believe that, and I would be happy to challenge that with anyone.
Someone said this isn't being presented as unbiased. Again, guys, this isn't a YouTube video. This isn't like, I just want to do like a spontaneous live stream because the general public already believes that. So I'm not here to like I'm offering you guys to bring it up, anything that you're interested in, that why you believe a certain way, because the media has just fed everybody a certain idea. Right.
And a story I want to tell now is that Liam McEwen's documentary Neverland Firsthand, I think everyone's seen that. It's great and everything, but the day after he released it, that was when the train station contradiction was discovered. Damn. So one of the biggest Michael Jackson rebuttal videos on YouTube happened before the biggest contradiction occurred. And for people who don't know what that contradiction is that James Safechuck, in Leaving Neverland, he claimed that he and Michael Jackson had sex every day at the train station. It showed the photo of the Grand train station. There's only one train station at Neverland. He claimed that they had sex at the train station every single day, and it was like a new couple, basically. He says that in his sworn statements, James Safechuck said the abuse lasted until 1992 when he turned 14. Okay, the problem then arises. The train station wasn't built until 1994.
Right, and here's the thing, guys. Just to pose a counter argument that I've heard many people say is, well, he could have misremembered, and that's okay and all, but he's not going out of his way on his own terms to say this. He is being directed by Dan Reed, the man producing this film. So it should be Dan Reed's job to fact check what they're saying, and at the very least be like, hey, like, say something about it. I think it's so strange that a documentarian, like, it's one thing to like completely dismiss what the other side is saying, but to lie about certain things or not even bother to fact check when you're calling yourself a documentarian, I think that's a little bit sloppy, you know, in itself.
Right. Exactly. Right. So the train station wasn't built until 94. Michael Jackson didn't live in LA until 1995. And by then, James Safechuck is a full-grown teenager, 16 years old. So that basically throws the narrative of the movie off the rails.
Okay, someone said that the description of the genitals, you knew it was going to come up. I knew it was going to come up. Yes. It didn't match. Now, this is my understanding. It didn't match.
You can tell your version and then I'll explain it.
Well, my version is short and easy. The kid apparently described Michael Jackson's penis as circumcised, but once Michael Jackson passed away, the autopsy showed that he was uncircumcised, or it could be one or the other. So it's like, that's the easiest giveaway to kind of debunk that, in my opinion.
Okay. Right. Okay, so I'm working on something on the low rate, but before I did that, the Chandler family actually published a book, and the book's name is All That Glitters, and it's written by Raymond Chandler. So a lot of the stories I had to fact check from there as well to see what family claimed happened, right? So what happened was that Jordan Chandler basically claimed that he could describe Michael Jackson's genitals. And Michael Jackson has publicly stated in a 1993 interview on Oprah that he had vitiligo. And vitiligo, what it is a skin condition that leaves white splotches on your skin. So Michael Jackson was covered in splotches all over his skin. So he would have white marks here and here, all over the place. And the area that vitiligo affects the most is actually the genitals. And this is something that most people know. And even in the Raymond Chandler's own book, they admitted they knew that Michael Jackson had vitiligo. So even in their own book, I could pull out the exact quote if you want.
My homeless got his receipts ready, by the way. He's like me on the Antwoord is him with Michael Jackson. So like,
here's the quote from the book. I'm sure of that. Oh yeah, Lauren Weiss told me today that this disease Michael says he's got, vitiligo, that's capable of changing anywhere you look, so that anything Jordan says is irrelevant. It can change very quickly with this disease. Shit, these guys seem to have an answer for everything. No, that's good for us. Why? Because if he's right, he's right. And if he's wrong, we got an explanation. Okay, so that's from the Chandler's own book. Okay, so they admitted that they knew Michael Jackson had vitiligo. Okay, so another part in the book is that a story about Evan Chandler giving Michael Jackson an injection in Michael's butt area.
Okay, yeah. And just to be clear, by the way, guys, the first accuser ever was called Jordan Chandler, and his dad was Evan Chandler, just so you guys are familiar with the names here. Because a lot of people say that, well, I believe the victim, but I don't know their name. So just want to help you understand what the victims are saying. And also, correct me if I'm wrong, but the child himself never made the accusation. And the only time he ever said it was when he was drugged by his own dad. Am I correct on this?
Well, I personally don't believe that. I personally believe that he was coached by his father in the 2-week span that he had him. But whether he was drugged or not, yeah, that was originally Evan's story. They wanted to make it seem like Jordan was drugged, so he told the truth. But then it backfired because the drug turned out to be a drug that you could put fake memories in kids or something like that. But sodium amytal is the name. But anyway, so back to the penis drawing matching. Jordan Chandler then gave a description to the police, and then Michael Jackson was served with a search warrant on his body. Yep. And this is a warrant that Michael Jackson could have refused because in 1993 there were similar cases and people refused it. Michael Jackson, however, agreed to it voluntarily, had his genitals photographed, had videotapes of his entire lower body. And at the end of the search, they did not arrest Michael Jackson. The initial reports citing law enforcement on USA Today claimed that the descriptions did not match. Right, so USA Today, LA Times all reported that the descriptions did not match. Okay, so in 1994 now, or 95, after Michael Jackson settled, he went on a television show with his wife, Lisa Marie Presley, on Diane Sawyer. And Diane asked Michael Jackson about the drawings, affirmed it again that it did not match because he would have been arrested had the drawing matched. Okay, so Michael Jackson basically told the world that the drawing didn't match. And then the next day, Tom Sneddon, who was the prosecutor on the case, did an interview with Maureen, I think her name is Maureen Oath, but he basically claimed that the drawing did match. So that's where the story of the penis drawing matching comes from. It comes from Tom Sneddon. The evidence. Yes, the evidence of the drawing not matching also includes that during the grand jury proceedings, Michael Jackson's mother, Catherine, was asked to testify. And what was she asked to testify about? Well, they asked her if Michael Jackson altered the appearance of his penis. So the grand jury didn't think the drawing matched. And Michael Jackson wasn't arrested. Jordan claimed that Michael Jackson was circumcised. Michael Jackson was uncircumcised. So basically all the evidence points to the drawing not matching.
Guys, Danny researched the hell out of Michael Jackson's penis. Can you, like, if anybody's still not convinced after everything he just said, I don't know what he can tell you, literally, like.
Basically, in 2005 also, in the Gavin Arvizo case, this is the second case that a lot of haters don't even use because it was such a sham. During the final days, Tom Snedden tried to throw a Hail Mary and enter the drawings into court.
Right.
And he claimed that there was one relative mark that Jordan Chandler drew that was at the relative location of Michael Jackson's penis. And obviously the motion was denied, but the court document exists. So a lot of people, they look at that court document and they think that's evidence that the drawing matched. However, it was nothing more than a Hail Mary by Tom Snedden.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so what's the next kind of focus, I guess, because everyone's kind of throwing things. Yeah, it would be nice to hear someone that was against him, but was also kind of educated and like at least like knew people's names and stuff. Let's see if somebody wants to call in. I have it on my Discord. I could add them to the call if they'd feel like it, because again, I don't know. It's not an easy thing to discuss because I don't know. People kind of tend to generalize and put on their own feelings as to like, well, you know, victims don't always do this or don't do that. That's right, but actually, well, you know something funny actually that I want to point out, because someone was bringing up the someone in my chat brought up this whole Timothy thing, and you want to know how intense the Melanie Martinez fans are. They literally make accounts. Oops, excuse me. They make accounts just to tweet me. Do you have actual rebuttals to the provable lies you were choosing to defend regarding Timothy Heller? This person made an account just to tweet that. It's like, use your real account, or what is this? Like, no other tweets except for that. Are you serious? Now, I want to be clear that what provable lies? Like, I mean, if someone wants to talk about this later, like, I never defended anything. Like, I'm simply sharing like both sides of the spectrum. And because I'm sharing like a side that you don't like, now it's like a provable lie. And also, I'm not going out of my way to shame Melanie Martinez just as Judd Apatow was doing. So again, another false equivalency.
Right, and I saw a couple of comments about Michael Jackson sleeping in the same bed as kids, and I do want to address that because what Michael does is that I've talked to sources who've talked to Frank Casile about this. Frank Casile is also one of the childhood friends of Michael Jackson. You know, he had a lot of time on his hands. But Frank Casile would say that what would happen is that they would play around all day, and then the kids would pass out on Michael's bed. And when Michael sees the kid pass out, like sleeping, he would just go record music, stuff like that. And then when they wake up, Michael's on the floor. So yes, if you want to put it literally, he did literally sleep in the same bed as a child when they fell asleep. But the context is really important. I mean, Taj Jackson was telling me how he's never seen Michael just sleep. He's always working, like always in the recording studios because he's playing all day, right? So at night, that's when he goes to work.
And another side note is that I saw Macaulay Culkin say in an interview that like he was telling the interviewer that you have to keep in mind that his bedroom isn't like a regular bedroom. It's not like this. It's like an entire house basically. So there's like an upstairs to his bedroom. So yeah. when he's sleeping on the floor, is that true?
Pardon?
You heard that? You saw that interview where Macaulay Culkin said
no,
that?
Michael Jackson's bedroom is two stories high. Yes.
Yeah, 2 stories high, exactly. So like when you think of yourself like, oh, he's letting kids sleep on his bed, like, yeah, and like another floor. Like Michael Jackson doesn't have to be in the same bed and everything like that. You know, there's so many missed details that are just kind of flung around without people knowing that.
Right, and yeah, so it's and you got people, even Brett Barnes. The people like to link to Brett Barnes because Brett Barnes does claim that he did sleep in Michael's bed a lot. And
hello.
Hello?
Oh, I thought you cut out. Were you saying something?
Okay, yeah, no, I wanted to get into the... Can you hear me?
You just cut out again?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you say I wanted to get into, and then it cut out.
Yes. Someone made a mention of the alarm systems at his house, in his room. That's something you'll hear.
Oh my, you just cut out again. That's something you'll hear.
Did you hear what I said, or should I say it again?
I heard that's something you'll hear.
Oh, something you'll hear is that Michael Jackson had an alarm system that leads to his room. Have you heard that before?
Yeah, heard that.
Yeah. Okay, so what it actually is though, is that outside his two-story bedroom, like the walkway up to this two-story bedroom, there's a sensor there, and when someone approaches it, it basically makes like a ding dong noise. So it's literally a door alarm. It's a house alarm. And people want to spin that to like a creepy room alarm. My parents actually have room alarms too. Like I have a room alarm, but like Michael Jackson had a house alarm.
All right, next. I'm just kidding. No. I just wish people didn't want to assume what's true and what's not. We don't know anything about this because we weren't involved, and all we can do is look at the evidence in this topic. Precisely. Just view all
There's
evidence
also-
he was guilty. Which evidence did you view that made you assume that, though? You know,
Yeah. The thing is though, I
because
must
the
say,
evidence
after-
literally pointed him to being a innocent man. I mean,
Yeah.
he went to court. He
When
was
I-
raided
when
by
I
the
watched-
FBI twice.
He was raided twice in '93. He wasn't in the country.
Someone's saying something about a letter to D.D. Jackson. I don't know. Actually, don't know about that. Do you know?
I was trying to talk about Michael Jackson. Oh yeah, what that is that Michael Jackson's nephew Taj was actually sexually molested as a child, and like it was from the other side of the family, but he was molested by his uncle, and Michael Jackson was very disturbed by it, and he wrote a letter, basically explaining why molestation is wrong to that part of the family. So some people will argue that, oh, Michael Jackson is wrong. That's false because Michael Jackson clearly knew. There's a letter online flowing, and it's pretty emotional. It's basically Michael. I think he was referencing an article, and he was trying to get his family members educated about child molestation.
Wow. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I never heard about it yet.
It was on a sticky note, I think.
Let's see.
Okay, so that girl that I just explained the description to, she said, even if there's no sexual abuse, MJ chewed up boys and spit them out just to move on to another. He had to know what that would do to a child. Okay, so that's also, it is true in a sense. Michael did freeze out his friends, his children friends as well, adult friends as well. That's what everyone does.
Right.
But a lot of times the kids are growing older. Michael Jackson, Gotham Chopra, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is he was a teenage friend of Michael Jackson, and he actually toured with Michael Jackson on the Dangerous tour. And he would say that in the beginning it was amazing, so much fun doing sleepover, but then he grew tired of it, and he told Michael that he was tired of sleeping over with Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson simply told him, hey, just go out in the city. Michael Jackson arranged limos for him every night to go to nightclubs, everything like that. And all Michael would ask from him is to tell him what the experience was like. So a lot of the times, it's the kids that are growing out of Michael Jackson, because when you're 15, 16, maybe having water gun fights every day not the top of your priorities anymore. You want to go chase girls, you want to hang out with your friends.
It's not always like exclusively kids that he's like shunning and stuff. Like sometimes it's the other way around, or sometimes people let go of adults as well.
It's the family, especially with the Robson case. Now he shunned out the family with the Safe Chuck case as well. After they didn't pay Michael Jackson for his loan for the house, that's when he really. That's.
Kids that he's like shunning and stuff. Like trying to link
What
this.
was that? Yes, who were friends with Michael Jackson for their entire adult lives as well. So the myth that you hear that Michael Jackson moves on from children it's absolutely not true, because that's what the accusers want you to hear. That's what you've been fed in your mind.
Well, I wanted to kind of discuss the Michael Jackson accusations, but you know, like I said, people always will kind of say, well, what about this other thing that he did, and what about this? But guys, if we could just like stay to the topic, which I wanted it to be mostly about Wade Robson and James Safechuck's accusations, then that would be cool, you know? Because okay, like guys, again, nobody's denying that he was a weirdo, right? Sure, but is it related to the accusations at hand that are convincing the public, whatever? Because you know, when you pile everything on. When you make someone look so bad, like throw all these names, all these character assassinations, of course it's gonna be easy to believe that they murdered someone, right? Like, oh my God, he did all this. Well, sure, yeah. Why not? Why didn't he do this? But like, that's why it's so hard to speak with someone and individually dissect each case, because literally I was having a conversation with someone. I was like, okay, but did you know that this is actually what happened? And they're like, no, but what about the other children? It's like, okay, well, we can go with the other children one by one if you'd like, but we need to focus on one by one. That's the kind of hard part with the Michael Jackson, because like, you talk about one thing and then people are like, well, isn't it weird? Yes, it is weird. Nobody's denying that. Well, he did this. Okay, but were we not just starting this conversation? Didn't you literally message me saying like, you know? So, I mean, if anybody wants to like come through with like some sort of like strong belief about like Wade Robson and James Safechuck, that would be fantastic, because that's literally what's going on right now. This is what's going on right now. These men are suing Michael Jackson estate for hundreds of millions of dollars at the moment. So I'm trying to talk about something that's actively going on.
Right. You know, we all comments tell us that we're defending a pedophile or stuff like that. You know, you can say those things. That doesn't affect me anymore, but you know, I would like to see some tangible evidence, and I would like to have a civil debate or a civil conversation.
Yeah, man, it's intense. Like, people want to say, oh, it's a pedophile. Yeah, okay, what? Imagine someone called one of your family members or your best friends a pedophile. Just because the rest of the world believed it, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, you know what? I don't even want to believe you. I don't want to listen to your side of the story. That's how you're going to treat people? Like, you really got to, like, evaluate the morality behind it, what your words mean, because that's a pretty serious allegation. And what do you have to back it up? Oh, well, I saw this headline and this other 10 headlines, so they must be true. Pedophile according to who? According to you.
Well, thank you for the subscription. I like that this is when everyone, like, who were talking back then stops. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Edwin, why you want to play devil's advocate so bad? How is this devil's advocate if I'm simply like researching? Should I just like become a sheep and just listen to what the media tells me because that's what everybody else is doing? I don't understand when people make that like judgment on me. Like, Edwin, Edwin, you want to be the unpopular opinion so bad. You want to play devil's advocate. How is this devil's advocate? Like, this isn't really devil's advocate. This is me trying to like encourage you guys to think critically and look into other perspectives instead of just like shutting down and be like, you know what? Enough people said he's a pedophile. I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, Edwin, you literally are inviting people.
Yeah, I'm saying come through. Come through.
Yes, it is all that he likes having sleepovers with children. No one's going to debate that. No, but that's not molesting children. That's different.
Yeah, guys, like I said, and okay, maybe some people are new to the show, but if you go to the description of this video, you can join the Discord link. Join the Discord, but I've been checking every now and then, and I said, hey guys, if you want to join the chat, if you're so passionate about it, we can discuss everything about Wade Robson and James Safechuck.
Right.
But like, to just call me devil's advocate against what? Let me know.
You're almost like being the devil's advocate to the Michael Jackson's innocent, because you're inviting people to come on the conversation.
Okay, this is related to Wade Robson, and dear, you're the same person that called me, why I want to be devil's advocate so bad. So I would love to have you on the Discord. I don't know what the excuse is for not coming through, but okay. Until then, let's read your chat, because you're dedicated to Danny. You said Why did MJ book the parents' room so far away? Now, this is obviously going off of the word and no receipts whatsoever off of the mother of Wade Robson. So,
I think that was a James Safechuck. James Safechuck's mom.
oh, James Safechuck.
And I do actually have a counter to that because I think someone on Twitter figured out that during the supposed date of the abuse was actually one of the first dates that James Safechuck actually joined Michael Jackson on tour. So how is he continuously moving the parents away when it was one of the first days that he did that, right? So,
that's a counter question right there for you, Mr. Deer or Mrs. Deer. Oh, okay. Connection in Australia is shit. Okay, okay. You know what? I'll give you a pass for that because every person I've spoken to from Australia basically says the same thing. Okay, you have a pass.
I mean, Wade Robson also, you have to realize that in 2005, during Joy Robson's testimony, Wade Robson has only hung out with Michael Jackson at Neverland 4 times while Michael Jackson was there. 4 occasions.
Wait, but okay, did he say that he was abused hundreds of times though?
Yes. So
hundreds of times in the span of 4 days.
Well, he said that it would routinely happen at other places. The math simply doesn't add up because he wasn't at Neverland that frequently.
All right.
You
Let's
almost
see
dropped
here.
right there. Yes, Michael Jackson has made a lot of questionable decisions in his life. That's not the topic at hand.
I mean, to be fair, you know, this kind of reminds me of like this almost is kind of like a, you know, the Steven Crowder show where he goes to college campuses and he says,
"Oh yeah,
change my mind." Yeah, I
Right.
mean, if anything, it's not always totally fair because he's obviously super like educated and he's going up against college students that are usually probably I think they know in advance, but like most of them aren't probably as educated as him, so it's kind of hard. And I mean, you know, it's a nerve-wracking thing. Like, it's a lot of viewers here, so I don't know if there's like that kind of like nerve thing or something. But guys, you guys can literally come on a phone call, and even if you only have one question, actually that'd be preferable because sometimes a lot of people like talk for a long time, and I get awkward even kicking them off. So if you can like just like ask 1 or 2 questions, that's even fine. That's even better because then you can like ask follow-ups, and me or Danny could explain to you. You know, so like don't be, if anything, yeah, come on, just ask 1 or 2 questions.
Right, I would love that. Because people
we
think
would love
that,
it, seriously.
People think that we would just completely dismiss them, but I understand where people are coming from because I believed their accusations as well.
Who do MJ haters believe? All of these accusers? Please tell me which one of these kids you actually believe. That's like kind of a good question, right?
There's no stance.
I want to know too. Well, until then, do you have something? Are you working on something you want?
Oh yeah. Who on Twitter? Who's been following my Twitter and know that?
Is anybody here following Danny's Twitter?
10 minutes later.
DWYU, right?
DYWU on Instagram, but Danny Wu Y. Can I type it in there?
Yeah. Type your Twitter on this chat.
Can I type Instagram as well? I do both. I announce on both.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, if I hit return, does that make a space or does that send it?
I think that sends it, but I can do it and my name has like a check mark and a yellow thing so I can retype it after you.
Okay, I'm kind of dumb.
It's all good, dude.
Okay.
Someone said to me, James Safechuck definitely looked like he was abused while talking in that documentary. Maybe he was abusing himself by making up those lies about Michael Jackson. And okay, here's the thing also, because somebody also asked earlier in the chat, like, Edwin, do you really believe they could be that good of actors? And I could tell you right now a story and about something that happened to me and change the person's name, and you wouldn't know if it was real or not. You would probably believe it but I could be about someone that you might know online or something, right? But just because I changed the name doesn't mean that it didn't happen to me. But just because I changed the name, it doesn't mean that it's the person's whose name I changed. That's a theory.
Right. Exactly, and you guys also have to realize that majority of these stories are true, right? This isn't just like some a whole fantasy that they made up. These kids actually have met Michael Jackson. They've had experiences with them. It's just the molestation parts that are questionable. So when people say like, "Oh, they would deserve Oscars," if this was fake, like that isn't the case at all, because they're mixing true stories up with stories of child molestation.
Do y'all really think MJ is dead though? Yes.
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 Thank you, Elizabeth. I actually hate my. So.
I mean, how awkward. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad for like the kids and the family. Like, he had a big family, guys, as well, and it's like really awkward to like imagine being like his kid and reading that.
Yeah, exactly. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, talk about them cutting out a good portion of the documentary and distributing it to other countries. Yeah, so after Leaving Neverland came out first in the United States, right?
Yeah.
So when it started going to other countries like the UK, people started noticing that there were like pieces of Leaving Neverland missing, and it's all the inconsistencies that's been cut out.
That's interesting. I didn't know they had a re-edit.
Yeah, they had a re-edit after the first day. This was before the train station or anything like that.
What do you think about Oprah interviewing Robson and Save Chuck, then removing the episode later on? I don't know they removed the episode, but before Danny goes, because I'm sure he's got a lot to say, I will say that I did go into a little bit of a rabbit hole of conspiracy mode on how Oprah, and I think it was weird that before the documentary even aired on Sundance Festival, somehow Oprah had a copy of it, and she was hanging out with the Geffen Records CEO, David Geffen, and yeah, I think that was really interesting that on her birthday, on her yacht, they were all watching the entire documentary before it was even out. And it's interesting to me because, especially because there's a connection between Michael Jackson and David Geffen, which some might say is a little bit more conspiratorial because, fuck, I can't even say off the top of my head, but basically, I don't know, you probably know it. Michael Jackson didn't want to sell his music to Geffen Records, and he wanted to keep his, I don't know, you go ahead. Your thoughts on Oprah?
My thoughts on Oprah?
Removing the episode, I guess. I don't know if she did that.
Oh, yeah. I just saw a post that said Brett Barnes testified in court that he slept with Michael Jackson 450 times in a row, and that was confirmed by Brett Barnes' sister. That's actually not true. I've actually thought that as well when I was first researching the case. However, it was actually a mathematical mistake by Brett Barnes' sister. She said that Brett Barnes was with the tour on the year, but the tour was only 3 months. So people took that out of context and added the 365 on there. So no, Michael did not sleep with Brett Barnes 450 times.
Yeah, that's kind of a wild number too. Like what?
Yeah.
But so she removed that episode where she had the James Safechuck and Wade on her show?
For a while, that's what I thought, but then she went on Trevor Noah's show, and then she doubled down on her belief. So,
yeah, it's almost like she was like, "Oh crap, they think I'm being cowardly. Let me put it back up." Yeah, but it's interesting because like she didn't really, and that's the thing that I find kind of irresponsible, as well as with H3H3, and I think that someone sent me a message talking about H3H3. I was like, oh, that actually might be a good starting point for me to touch on this topic because it's like. It's so hard to talk about Michael Jackson because no matter what, people will say, what about X, Y, and Z? And it's like, okay, we can talk about that another time, but like, can we talk about what we're talking about? But I think that if I do a video, maybe I could just respond to all the points that H3H3 made. So that could be a thing that I could do in the near future.
And H3H3, I was a big fan of H3H3, I'm not gonna lie. I was subscribed to his channel in 2013. This was when he had like 50,000 subscribers or even less.
Yeah.
But he once made a video, I think it was on Digital Blackface, and in it, the woman was talking about Michael Jackson.
Hello? I lost you.
Knew where his stance was because just imagine being that out of touch with the message of a song.
Okay, so I think I disconnected. right
Okay.
before you said, imagine being that out of touch.
Yeah, just say he's always been disconnected and very ignorant regarding the Michael Jackson as a whole.
I watched the Leaving Neverland documentary. I honestly have looked back since. You looked back, and he's a pedophile. Period. Okay, but have you bothered to look at like the other documentaries that are proving I mean, I could actually just pull it up right now. The video that's like the whole documentary, lie by lie, proven.
Right, the one that was dropped yesterday, and that didn't even cover a lot of the things that was.
No, but the YouTube video. You know, you've seen the YouTube video. It's like
exactly.
there's literally a YouTube video that goes by every single point, and we really wanted to go through it. But I just figured like I kind of wanted to present this in a way where I don't want to be like, hey, watch this. I mean, you guys should watch it. You guys should look into the other sources, you know, because like I said, this is also something that I do with Deantford. You know, I've been asking I have tried to reach out to them as well, and surely by now you would think that someone would try to tell me something about them in the positive light, right?
So, yeah, exactly.
Oops, I forgot to email my mom something. Send me that link. Okay, hold on.
Link for what? The Lies of
Yeah.
Neverland?
Well, the first starting point that I always recommend everyone is Neverland Firsthand. So remember those two words, Neverland Firsthand. That's only a 30-minute video by Liam, the Australian journalist or interviewer.
Yeah, Liam's, and then of course the Charles Thompson documentary.
But the one that I put in my Instagram story yesterday is pretty good. I only barely started, so I didn't even get to watch much of it. But I would recommend that one. Did you watch all of it?
No, I watched it.
How was it?
It was pretty good. It was a bit of like a forensic files vibe. So
yeah, it shows a deposition from both sorry, not James, Wade and his mom.
Robson. Yeah. So for anyone who's saying that, well, you have to believe Wade Robson because of his emotions that he's shown in Leaving Neverland, you should really watch the depositions. Because this guy's just like smirking through it, telling lots of inconsistencies as well. Yeah.
Well, and the difference is, okay, the thing is, guys, because most of the arguments that go about inconsistencies from the film are talking about, well, when he was supporting him, of course, blah, blah, blah. You know, because he himself would say that, I didn't want to disappoint Michael, I wanted to protect him. But after he's dead, in the deposition, he says things contrary to what he's saying in the film. Why is that?
Exactly. These are not memories from when you were a child. These are things from months ago because Leaving Neverland was shot 2 months after that deposition.
Well,
Right.
his
So
memories kept evolving, dude.
Right. And, even Wade Robson talking about how he got a subpoena to testify in 2005, which is confirmed not to be true. He actually volunteered. And James Safechuck claiming that Michael Jackson called him to testify, but James Safechuck was a non-entity during the entire trial.
Okay, I just I linked it. So if you guys were to refresh on this stream, you can see that the description of this live stream has been updated, and it's got the link to that video that we're referring to. I'm from South Africa, and there's nothing positive about Deantford. It's really interesting, the whole Deantford thing, because I've actually just started speaking to another rapper from there that was hanging out with Ninja. I can't say too much, but he gave me a lot of insight about gangsters over there and how they actually, the fact that he swindled Interscope Records out of $1 million actually gives him street cred. And I was like, huh, I never thought of that. No wonder he can get away with it. He's literally like messing with these gangsters' mind, making them think he's cool because he bragged about like stealing $1 million from Interscope Records, or swindling, not like stealing, but like finessing them, like, you know, tricking them basically.
Right. I still haven't started that series. Is it too deep in the rabbit hole now? If I start now,
Dude, I got like 2 episodes left, man. You gotta get into it.
I'll start it because I do know them, right? Because my ex is from South Africa.
Exactly. Yeah, you sent me that little video.
It was I couldn't believe what I was watching back then. I was like, are you kidding me? Like that would not fly in North America, but
dude, it's unbelievable, man.
Also seen that video of the guy talking about basketball, Kanye West or Drake, whatever.
Yeah. A lot of people have seen that video where he's talking about how he was hanging out with Drake and
he's making Kanye and everyone else seem weird. He's like the sane one.
Look at Gin and Tonic's Michael Jackson video Neverland. It's amazing.
South Africans hate them. I didn't know that.
I benched the DA series the other day. It's not too late. That's right. The end of the month, I should have this really big. Oh, by the way, also just a mini announcement, I guess, for anyone interested in the D. Antwoord series. Originally, I was gonna have a big finale, but I think I'm moving the finale to just the next video. So expect the next video to be big.
Well, when's that coming out?
The end of the month. I'm trying, and I'm crossing my fingers that I can get these other 2 sources to verify something that happened. It's like
that's so annoying.
What's that?
The sources always the verification.
Yes.
Longest process.
The cooperation, because you know that they know, but like they need to agree. Otherwise, it's not like honest journalism. And not that I'm a journalist by any means, but like I want my content to be honest. So like I need to make sure that these people are okay with me saying what they're saying, what they know.
What do you mean? I find it funny that Danny literally thinks a bunch of separate people have conspired against MJ to ruin his reputation after he is dead. I don't think I thought that. I said that Wade Robson and James Sixpack was suing for money. Okay.
Like, okay, and also we can sit here. Here's the thing, guys. To those people that are saying that like we're on like on the wrong side or whatever, in like we're doing this and that. If we were doing this and that, like against the accusers, wouldn't our first course of action have been to shut down everything about Wade Robson, for example, because he got such a sketch memory. Have a good day, Edwin. Always on a great topic. Thank you, Emily. Because like guys, people are saying that, oh, we're defending a pedophile. That's because everybody here is attacking him. So it's like, well, we're just kind of trying to clarify. Clarify doesn't mean defense. It just means like, no. Like if someone were to tell me right now, like Bill Cosby beat up a bunch of women, I'd be like, no, he didn't. He raped women and he drugged them. But like, that's not me defending Bill Cosby. That's me clarifying a story. He didn't beat up anyone. Not that he was accused of or charged of anyway. You know what I mean? So like, we're just kind of clarifying things. But like, I could sit here and say, oh yeah, Wade Robson cheated on Britney Spears, caused Justin Timberlake to make that song Cry Me a River. And interesting, he dated Brandy Jackson and didn't make a peep about it. Also cheated on her. Oh, he actually cheated on her with Britney Spears. And several other stories, you know. But we're not trying to do character assassinations, as everything about Michael Jackson throughout his entire life has, well, not his entire life, but a large part of his life has been a character assassination. Like, name another celebrity that's been attacked and harassed and hated on as much as Michael Jackson.
Like, I can't. There hasn't been.
It's just so easy to just like make him a punching bag because of everything that's ever been said. Just a few days ago, I saw a headline saying that he's gay and he had 2 lovers. It's like, dude, really? Like, that's the best? That's what you're coming up with now? Like, what, 10 years after he died? Okay.
I mean, yeah, even Michael, one of his closest friends, Frank Castillo, I don't know if you heard about this, but in 2013, like, Frank Castillo was one of Michael's closest friends. He was his manager. He was a child growing up with Michael as well. In 2013 or 2014, he sold fake Michael Jackson songs to the estate. So, and it's sung by an impersonator. So you see, you can't trust anyone when it comes to Michael Jackson.
Show vids of all the evidence against MJ and explain it away point by point. Well, which one do you want me to go through? Like which specific one? We can do that if you want to. But also, we've already been live for over an hour, so we have to be mindful of time. Danny,
Exactly.
big shout out to Danny, guys. Do check out his channel because he's already done this like on his own channel. If you guys are actually interested, he's already basically gone through most of the accusations point by point. So
You're not gonna post this video, right? So I guess I can do like a
I might leave it unlisted for a bit.
Okay, yeah, I'll do a low-key announcement for now.
Oh, you want to do a low-key announcement right now?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Danny's about to do a low-key announcement.
Yeah, because I think not that many people. I'll do an official
Big key
in
announcement.
a week or so. But since May of this year, I've been working on a documentary, and I've been flying across the U.S. just to get some of these interviews, and it's finally looking about to be completed. And it's basically, it's called Square One. It's called Square One, and it's going to shed light on the 93 allegations. Because when I was researching the Michael Jackson allegations, what usually happens? Okay, I point out a Wade Robson inconsistency. Why did Michael Jackson pay $20 million to Jordan Chandler? I point out the James Safechuck inconsistency. Why was Jordan Chandler able to describe Michael Jackson's penis? So what I found out was that it always went back to the 93 allegations. So the documentary that I'm going to be releasing is that, and expect to hear more from that soon.
Amen. That's awesome. Like so when you say this is documentary, is there anything we can expect from it? Like, do you have like B-rolls or like
Oh, this is for the first time, I think, probably since Leaving Neverland, that you're gonna hear a new witness. There's gonna be a new witness coming through, right? So I'm not gonna reveal what the cast is right now, but there is gonna be someone new speaking their mind and their truth.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, and and that's I think that's really cool because like I said, when I found his channel, my first impression of your first couple videos on this topic were just like, well, your first one was like pretty passionate, and then the second one was like, you were kind of like, damn.
That was after Leaving Neverland, right?
Yeah, exactly. You were like conflicted, you're like, but then you like kept you kind of kept looking into it, because you were passionate, and it kind of just landed on you that you've decided to pursue it more. Now, when you say that that you collaborated with Taj and Brandy, did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to them?
What actually happened was that Taj Jackson followed me on Twitter, and I was just like, wow, this is insane. I never expected to get this far, and I just shot him a DM, and it was like that's pretty long. I'm pretty sure he didn't read it all the way through, but he agreed to do the interview, and then we set up a time, and I asked if he could bring Brandy as well, and yeah, that's how that happened.
Did you tell them that you made a video already or something, or you just like
they knew about my videos? They knew about my videos.
Oh, okay. See, I think that's nice.
Made it because back then, Michael Jackson videos were allowed to get monetized. Like now, anything Michael Jackson related demonetized like right away. But back then, I was donating all the money I made from my YouTube videos to Taj's campaign for his documentary. So that's how like they kind of realized who I was.
I see. Yeah, I think that's kind of like a helping point. I think that's actually how a lot of it usually comes to me as well. Like when I did the Mars Argo story, like I talked to one of her friends, and like everything that I like, every story like will kind of like, people are familiar, people that are being covered do see the videos.
Exactly.
If the victims were only after money, why did they go ahead with criminal proceedings rather than civil, where one of us...
Okay.
You should check out this document. Okay, see, here's the thing, guys. We need to talk about specific victims one by one, because which victims went with criminal proceedings? Did they all do that? Because I don't think so. I'm pretty sure only one of them did that, right?
No. None of them went with
criminal
proceedings.
Oh, okay. So there we go. Misinformation.
Because he had to. The first Jordan Chandler civil proceeding, and he refused to testify in the criminal trial. Basically took the money and run. What happened with Gavin Arvizo's case was that Gavin Arvizo's family actually went to the same civil lawyer that got the settlement as Jordan Chandler, and he told them that they need to get a criminal conviction first in order to get the civil case. So that's why they had to go through a criminal trial first. And then James and Wade are obviously also civil as well, which is also funny because Gavin Arvizo's family lawyer, Larry Philman, off the record, actually told, I think, Larry King at the time that he didn't believe their stories. He thought that the family was crazy. He thought they were full of lies. And that's what their lawyer even said.
Shoot. I was just going to say the super chat. Shout out to KX. She said, digging the pastel hair. Hope all is well and loving the Zeph drama vids and their format. Cheers. Dude, I don't know how my hair faded into this, but it looks pretty cool. I was just noticing, like, oh, wow. Thank you, by the way, KX. Thank you. Now, something that I do want to say also as well is about the documentary itself, guys. Like, I really want you guys to at least look at this documentary because it's so easy to just generalize everything about the victims, right? But seriously, ask questions, ask questions not about the victims, but about this documentary that came out called Leaving Neverland, because they claim that it was, okay, and again, fact check me here because you know a lot more than I do, but they claimed that it was shot in one day, like the interviews, I mean.
I think that's what they claimed at first, but then people found inconsistencies in the clothes, stuff like that.
And like it was a different setting, like the couch was different, like, and
Yeah.
on top of this, I also saw, I heard, you probably know John Ziegler.
Yes, I know John Ziegler.
Yeah, so he had a podcast where he talked to a guy that played like jazz music for the film, and his scene never made the cut, but he talked to Wade Robson during the filming, and Wade was only saying good things about Michael Jackson to this guy. And this is like a reputable jazz musician too. Like, he has no reason to lie about like a thing. If anything, he was like, oh shoot, we're doing something for Michael Jackson, that's cool, because, you know, it was shot in Georgia. And then once he started talking about it, he was like, once the documentary came out, he was like, wait, what? I worked on this? I didn't know that. So I need to find that link because that's like really weird.
They're trying to keep that under perhaps.
What is it?
I think like the counter argument for that would be Robson probably wanted to keep it under wrap. He didn't want anyone to like know, I guess, or for people to expect it.
But he had already been public about being against Michael Jackson. That's a confusing part.
Right. Yeah, that is confusing that he would do that and then go and praise Michael Jackson to Kevin Lipsy.
Oh man, there was a tweet that showed literally video, like, too, because this guy's not just claiming out of nowhere. There was literally a video of this scene that didn't even make the cut, but it was a video where you see Dan Reed and you'll also see Wade Robson like doing like a little dance class.
Yeah, it did make the cut. It was like for like 2 seconds.
Oh, it did? Oh shit! Well, that must have been in the last hour.
In part two at the end.
Oh yeah, in the end. See, okay, like I said, 3 out of 4 hours I watched. Might be.
Your story is consistent.
Yeah. Accusers often defend their abusers. Do they often defend their abusers when they're filming a documentary against their abusers though? Like what?
Exactly. People, that's the thing. A lot of people, when they hear their stories, they especially abuse victims who are really the targets of this, they think that it's really similar to their own stories, right? So they have to believe. But then you start, but that's like what they're trying to do though. No one has gone through the things that Wade Robson and James Safechuck has gone through, though the lengths they went defending Michael Jackson, especially Wade Robson. You know, on June 26th, he sent emails to producers asking them to let him produce Michael Jackson dance choreographies for tribute shows. That's like where his head's been. Looking to child manipulation work.
Right. But when you're producing a documentary against an abuser, I don't know about that, dear. I think you're gonna have to like show me which line about child manipulation will help your argument against that one. Like I said, like you can't just say, oh well, look over there. Like, you know, okay, yeah, I can too, and I can tell you look right here. I have the encyclopedia where it can tell you where to look just the same, you know. Sorry, my voice.
Yeah, Andrew generous. It's my guy.
Like, and here's also something you have to remember, guys. Like, I mean, like, I don't know how you all grew up, but like, I don't want to open up about my life, but in no way do I want to sympathize with an abuser. Like, this is like, people forget that my whole channel basically revolves around abuse, and like, I don't stand for that shit, dude. Like I'm not like, so many of my videos that I've done this year and last year are about abuse. Like I'm very knowledgeable. I study this extensively myself. I am aware of these like things. So when someone says look into child manipulation, I'm like, whoa, child manipulate. I'm not like, what is those two words mixed together? I never heard of that. Like, I'm very familiar. Like, if anything, that's why, like, I don't know. I'm just kind of saying words now.
Right, right. And I mean, one of the quotes in the Chandler family book even is that if Michael Jackson paid the $20 million, he would not have been known as a child molester. That's from the own family. Does that seem normal for a abuse victim's family to act?
Well, and that's also the thing. Some people are always asking, well, if he's not guilty, why did he pay the settlement? And you know, there's plenty of reasons for that. Like, okay, there's plenty of reasons, but instead of taking the bait, I return another question. If you are claiming, because once again, well, to my understanding, the kid was literally gassed with some drug when the one time that he said it, but he also said himself that he did not want to be a victim and he didn't want to go to court. So really it was the dad's claim from the beginning, and the dad was recorded on a phone call saying that he was going to extort Michael Jackson and get every penny out of him and ruin his life. That's on a phone call. We can pull up the receipts if you want. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, if you found out that your child was raped, would you really take money? Because I don't have a fucking child, but I know that if any of my friends, like, if they offered me money, like, hey, keep this shush, I would say, fuck you, man. Like, no, that's not fucking cool. Like, I don't understand why people are always, like, focusing their attention on vilifying someone when you should really be thinking about this parent that is being completely incentivized by money while putting this facade of, oh no, like, Michael Jackson's a bad guy, look at him, but also, thanks for the money. Come on now.
But I don't know if Danny's arguments are factual. You can look it up yourself. I mean,
well, fact check him. Fact check.
Yeah,
Danny.
fact check him. If you were willing
Which
to
argument do you not believe of Danny's?
Yeah, right. Let me know. I'll pull up the sources right now.
He's got receipts, and I can put them on the screen. Like, it's just that I didn't do it because my video was lagging, but it's finally not lagging. I figured out how to make it not lag.
There's a lot of fights going on in the. Okay, again with the Toya Jackson. There's literally videos of her with black eyes. There's literally videos of her storming off a TV interview because her earpiece stopped working, so she wasn't able to get communication from her ex-husband. So the real victim you guys are really shaming is LaToya Jackson in this case.
Someone brought up the maid, and I want to play that one really funny clip. You know the one I'm talking about.
Adrian McManus?
Yeah, Adrian McManus.
Right.
Okay, because I think it's funny when people bring up the maid. Also, have you ever looked into the SoundCloud rappers Poya and Fat Nick gang raving their fans at concert multiple times, being involved in now close groupie lust? No, what the fuck? I don't. Jeez, no. SoundCloud rappers. It sounds like the epitome of like. See, I'm only going off of that description too. I don't know much about this, but that description just sounds like, makes me think of SoundCloud rappers really poorly. Let me play this real quick. This is your maid, guys. By the way, this is your maid.
Housemaid.
A sketch that I found in the trash.
You then on-sold that sketch.
I figured, well, I found it in the trash. It didn't mean anything to me.
Do you still owe the Jackson estate money?
I probably do, but Michael's dead now, you know.
You do. So this woman stole, and I mean, like, it could easily be argued that she like made this entire thing because she was fired, and then she made up these claims conveniently after she was fired for stealing and selling Michael Jackson's trash. I don't know, man. If there's a specific point that you want to rebuttal with the lady.
Right, this is something I'm gonna address in my new documentary. As it's gonna tie everything together, but the maids, the new kids, all of them have one single tie, and they actually tie back to this man named Victor Gutierrez. And Victor Gutierrez was someone who was paying all these maids, getting them opportunities to even go on these shows, to get money. So what they would get is like 20,000 in this country, 20,000 in this country to sell their story to the tabloids, and their stories would change depending on how much they were given. I think I was watching a clip yesterday, and here I think I have the audio. Let me know if you can hear it. This is a police officer talking about the maids and how credible they are.
Jackson.
Do you want to send me the link?
It's on my phone. I can send it to you.
I can play it if you want. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'll send it to you on.
The MG documentary was made to pull attention away from people like Jeffrey Epstein, or well, that wasn't really relevant at the time. But I think that it could be. See, and this sounds like conspiracy. Like I don't say this with confidence, but I think that in part because what's her face, Oprah was not very vocal about Weinstein. Like even though she was friends with him for so long, she said like one thing about him, you know. And then as soon as like he's about to go to court, do you guys know anything about Harvey Weinstein? Like, have you guys heard any updates? Because it's been pretty silent, even though he was like proven largely. He's like, what do you guys know about that? Because it seems like around the time that Sundance Festival also had a documentary about Harvey Weinstein, but that didn't get much attention because all the hype was around this Leaving Neverland documentary, which was actually submitted past the deadline. But for some reason, maybe somebody whispered in the people's ears that, hey, still allow this documentary to go through. Maybe Oprah did it, maybe not, but somehow she had a copy before the Sundance Festival even happened. So that's some conspiracy theory rabbit hole right there, guys. Think about it. Oprah.
Edwin, I sent you the a Twitter DM with that video of the maids talking about the maids.
Wait, where did you send it to me?
Twitter
oh,
DM.
Okay.
Twitter DM. This is one of the police officers talking.
I don't know how I got here. Hello, Gabs. Okay, let me put it back on the screen player here. Oops.
As soon as the first time I heard the story about Jackson, his hand was outside the kid's pants. They were asking 100 grand. As soon as their price went up to 500 grand, the hand went inside the pants. So come on.
Wait, so what was he saying?
So what he's saying is that the maids, when they were asking for 100,000, right, or 10,000, where it was, their story was that Michael Jackson's hand was outside the boy's pants. But then when the price went up to $500,000, the hand went inside the pants.
Oh, okay. And where is this from? Who's this man?
He says this is from a documentary exposing the media hypocrisy surrounding.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
About Jackson.
So most of the maids in that case were just.
Oh, and they're showing like the court transcript.
As soon as their price went up to.
No. This is from another documentary, like from way before.
Yeah, but right there on the screen, is that the court transcript or something?
Oh yeah, that must. I think that's like the interview they gave, the transcript for the interview.
Oh, okay.
I love that the chat is just having like a conversation of their own.
I know, right? It's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. Honestly, I've had way worse like live chats that are really like in disagreement. So I'm kind of proud of you guys. You know, even though some people butt heads here, I think for the most part it seems like I don't know. It seems civil as can be. You didn't respond to the erect penis argument because Danny said a better argument than I did. All I said was that, well, he was completely incorrect about that description. But then Danny, did you shut your ears right after I said what I said? Because I said, okay, guys, that's my weak argument. I just want to say that. And then I gave Danny the floor. You're going to have to rewind, Lissy. Come on now. I'm not going to make Danny explain the whole, like, how you got the penis wrong all over again. Just rewind in the live stream.
Here, I'll send you something on Discord. This is about Michael Jackson's mom asked to testify.
There's major disagreements, but you guys are doing okay. I think. I mean, I've seen more angry chats at each other than my live streams. What I'm trying to say.
This is great.
It's good. It's good. You know, like, I'm just like, see, because people kind of put their own bias of what they know from other abuse victims and like, well, they could have been this, but okay. But what you need to do next is really look at all the details of what they're saying, right?
Right. I mean, this chat would have looked a lot worse if it was like a day after leaving.
Oh, bro, I know, dude. Dude, like when I did a live stream, I mentioned him, and then my fucking chat went ballistic. I was like, oh, damn. So at least by now, like, people have gone out of their way to like look into it themselves, you know. And again, like some people were saying, like, well, we don't have time to look into it. Like, great. I hope that now I have encouraged some people that are skeptical to look into all sides of the coin. You know, look into Neverland firsthand. Look into Danny's documentary. Follow him on Twitter. He's gonna be producing one real soon, within the next couple months. If God wants it. If He doesn't, like in Spanish we say si Dios quiere. Maybe in 3 months, maybe next year, but bro,
maybe never. maybe this month.
I legit love your live stream, especially this one. Oh, well, gracias, Nelly. Whoa, what did I miss? Oh, cheese and rice. I don't know.
Those who submitted to succeed in part ways, no harm, no foul. I agree with that.
No
and
harm,
also,
no foul.
I want to add from my personal experience, why that I guess I'm more inclined to be able to believe that things like this can happen, because I know a lot of people when they hear stuff like 4 accusers, it's like it's unbelievable, right? And 4 accusers is a big number for a regular person. But in my private school, when I was in high school, I went to a private school, and we had a very well-known basketball program, which I was a part of. And after I graduated, 2 of my teammates actually filed a civil lawsuit against the school for being abused by the coaches, verbally abused by the coaches, which I knew a lot of the statements were just not true at all. So from a very young age, I was able to see that like there are people that can do nasty stuff just for money. So when I translate that to Michael Jackson, you know, someone who's like much bigger than some high school basketball coach, then it doesn't shock me at all.
Like it's not. I mean, obviously, it's not the first time it's happened, you know. At trials, the trials are made up. The trials, literally, he was found innocent on all counts. What do you mean they're made up? You're trying to use. Okay, there's a misconception that when people go to trial, it's because they're guilty. That's not really how it goes. That's literally Shannon Rose's mentality. Oh my God, I'm doing this series on Shannon Rose. Yeah. Maybe you've heard of her. She's had this controversy for like stepping on crawfish and stuff. It's kind of wild, but basically she took this other YouTuber to court over making video responses at each other, and I was like, what? I never knew that. So I started looking into it, and one of the things she says in her videos is like, guys, you guys should know that because I took her to court, and you know she's guilty. So obviously, well, you know that she's crazy. I'm right, but like, she went to court, but she wasn't found guilty. Like, it was really weird. It's like going to court doesn't mean that you're guilty.
Exactly.
Don't think like Shannon Rose, guys.
Cover his tracks. See, that's the thing. It's like when he was going on trial in 2005, all the media stories were about how broke Michael Jackson was, how he lost all his connections. Then he won that trial, and then it all became how much money he had, all the connections he had. It's like people just keep moving the goalposts.
I don't see the point of a conversation without different biases being more represented, and I'm not really seeing it. A lot of people discussing his guilt. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, but again, I'll open up the conversation to you directly, Cap Gun Goes Bang. Come on my Discord and have a phone call with me, because I know you think that this is like an echo chamber, you called it. So I've been actively offering for people to come on a phone call. You know, me and Danny want it, but it's not happening. So it's you know, it's easy to throw words around from behind a screen, but we're all people. We're all here like have a civil talk. Let's talk. I'm sorry, fuck, dude. No, I didn't mean that. That just kind of happened.
I'm open-minded and believe there's a possibility to get money motivated or fame motivated. That's the thing, right? It's like at the end of the day, it's a defense for a dead man who's not here anymore. You know, of course we're never going to be 100% sure of anything, but what we're 100% Michael is not here, right? And he is being targeted for a lawsuit.
Right. If I roast on you, will I get to talk to you on Discord too? You can roast me. You can come on the call. You can roast me. You can go off on me. I don't mind. You can call me, like, as long as you're not like really rude, like, try not to call me names. You can tell me why you believe I'm wrong. Of course, I'm not looking for an echo chamber. I'm looking for you to tell me, like, hey.
Oh my gosh, no, someone.
Not the Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair has so many anti-Michael Jackson like articles that aren't even fact checked. It's ridiculous.
I watched all Danny videos, and his arguments were so bad. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way.
You didn't give anyone time to prepare. No, this isn't again. I want to emphasize. Prepare for what? This is not a debate. This is a discussion to encourage you. It sounds like now you're kind of incentivized to prepare, like to look into it, because maybe now you're realizing, wait, I don't have time to prepare, but I know what I think, so I should look into ways to fortify my way of thinking. Yes, do that. That's all I'm doing. This isn't about like debating you guys or whatever, or convincing you either. If you want to believe what you want to believe, that's completely fine. All I'm saying is like, hey, look into the facts, look into all sides of the story. This isn't really a debate. All I'm saying is,
right, we're not defending Michael Jackson sharing a bedroom with children. Like, that's irresponsible. But sharing a bedroom with a child doesn't mean he molested them. Oh gosh, before really, yes, I want to show you the facts are wrong and here. Is anyone coming on?
Let's see. I'm checking on. No, nobody's come on. I've had
any requests?
No requests. Why no? Why no? I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, it's true. I didn't give people that much time to prepare. I said it only on Instagram. And I did talk to a couple people that opposed on Instagram.
You didn't give me much time to prepare either. I just found out about it and then we came on and did it.
What was it?
I said we didn't have much time to prepare either.
Yeah, I'm not prepared, guys. I'm just kind of like, I'm saying what I've seen, and I'm like, well, I do have my backup encyclopedia, so I guess that's not fair. No, you guys don't have a back. But out of like so many people watching, it's just baffling that even though you guys don't have time to prepare, like your opinion that he's a pedophile, you will still believe it. Like, do you see like how that's kind of strange?
We've had one argument so far about the penis drawing, and I don't think anyone's countered our points. This Danny is stacked with facts.
Yeah, exactly. It's Danny guy, man. That's why I was like, you know what? Because I was like, wait, if I'm doing the stream, I should hit him up.
Yeah. So you can all agree it's not normal.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, and that's also something you have to remember. Yeah, not only Macaulay Culkin said that he didn't do anything to him, but there's a huge compilation video on YouTube you can find where Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, Michael Feldman, there's so many celebrities that stayed over at Michael Jackson's place and nothing ever happened, and they all describe him as like a fun like kid in the head, you know?
Yeah, Ma twins as well. He got kids everywhere. He has a lot of time. That's what it is.
Who?
Michael.
Yeah, he's got a lot of time, especially with like security guards and like parents everywhere and everybody around him constantly.
Exactly. Because he went through therapy and said felt safe to come out because of it. You think they would have made the documentary if I could see another hangout?
SD, I think you got here a little bit after we discussed the whole bedroom thing, but the bedroom is literally 2 floors. So
and sometimes kids will fall asleep in his bed, and then Michael Jackson will go work on music. And then when the kids wake up, Michael's on the floor.
Yeah, there's no even like description of him like cuddling kids or anything like that I've seen, at least. Thank you for the $2, Alice Bell.
Andrew Green wants to call in. But he's pro MJ though.
Who's that?
Andrew Green.
Okay, we'll see if we bring Andrew, then that would definitely be an echo chamber.
Exactly, that's the thing. I'm looking against Andrew. We have to find someone who's.
And also, you guys got to remember that Michael Jackson wasn't someone that was like people say that, oh, he has so much money, so of course he would get away with it. But you guys got to remember, Michael Jackson was not liked by the media. He was not liked by many people. Like he stepped on people's toes a lot. The whole Sony scandal, do people even remember that? When he was protesting Sony,
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like people kind of forget the kind of scandals that he was in on his own end when he got screwed over royally plenty of times.
Exactly. And it all basically happened since he moved. He changed managers to when he moved to David Geffen, I mean, and
David Geffen, yeah.
and after he bought the Beatles catalog.
Shit. It says my live stream complete. Did it just end? Oh, resumed. Okay. I don't know what the fuck just happened.
So Geraldine, because he spoke out about the Illuminati.
I mean, isn't that if we want to go down the Illuminati road? All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. I remember reading a long time ago that, like, one of those like creepy YouTube videos where it's like they add the music. It's like this video got him like a lot of trouble.
When he did the elbow and it was the pyramid with the eyes, I remember watching that conspiracy video. Those used to scare me, man.
Dude, I know, man. I used to watch those at night. I was like, oh god, these Illuminati videos on YouTube are hardcore.
Stay up all night to watch those because they were so fun to watch, but they were also like you kind of felt like you were special knowing that type of stuff.
Yeah, I know, right?
The one with Rihanna really creeped me out. The umbrella one. I remember watching that back.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, that's funny you say that. Like, it's like it literally triggered a memory of me like being with
her arm like being spread open.
Yeah, exactly. And all the Baphomets and stuff, and like the music videos when they slow them down. God.
Yeah, gosh, it's kind
Anybody
of
else
weird.
ever see those videos? Anybody ever see the Zeitgeist movie?
Like, Andrew
Someone said that he didn't get a chance to grow up.
People are really bringing up Corey Feldman.
Huh?
Corey Feldman. I actually know someone who's friends with Corey Feldman's publicist. And she sent an email to Corey Feldman's publicist. She basically replied that Corey Feldman's producing his own like pedo documentary, so like he has to like seem non-biased when he talks about Michael Jackson.
True. And another thing also, another thing about Corey Feldman is that he said that what he said in an interview was that the cops asked him, they interrogated him, they said, has Michael Jackson touched you? Because the FBI wanted to get Michael Jackson in jail for a long time. They did. And he said that no, he never touched me. I've hung around with him a lot, but I can tell you of all these other people that abused me and molested me. I know what molestation is like. And the police was like, no, we don't care about them. We only care about Michael Jackson. I could put that. I don't know if I should put. I haven't really. See, I wasn't prepared either. I could bring all these receipts up, but they're all on YouTube.
People can barely hear me. Sorry.
Yeah. So no, that's not you. That's me. I think I did something because I turned. Okay, talk. Hold on. It was my fault. I was trying to turn you up so I could hear you a little bit better, and then that's what happens.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
No, you didn't do anything, dude. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I'm blaming OBS.
That's also my friend Shania. Give a shout out to my project.
Shania in the house?
Yeah, and I basically got her to read through so many books to find similarities and stuff like that. She's a lawyer. I gotta give her that. She's been so helpful. So couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. I think I fixed you. Now people can hear you. So Shania, if you didn't hear that shout out, I put the mic up to the speaker, but hopefully you heard that.
if she didn't hear that, I'm not gonna repeat it.
But shout out to you for helping out.
Yeah, shout out, man. Really couldn't have done this without you. We had the many victims. Yes.
Yeah, and thousands and thousands of kids. Like
exactly, the average pedophile convicts, I think, over 80 like acts of molestation for his lifetime. And Michael Jackson has 4 accusers, all who are like okay.
I don't know. I feel like guys, I feel like. And I mean, well, for one, okay, now that we've been live for basically 2 hours, time flew by. I want to address that whole like false equivalency that people. I'm assuming it's like a Melanie Martinez fan because they literally made an Instagram, Twitter account to just like be like, oh, so what about your defense about Timothy Heller? And I want to ask that person, but like I'm not gonna take the bait with the Twitter troll, right? But what defense? Like the Melanie Martinez and Timothy Heller cases, and Michael Jackson cases are completely different. For one, Melanie Martinez confirmed that they had sexual relations. So it's just like he said, she said. It's kind of like a very gray area. That's a gray area in itself. And so is Michael Jackson. However, the difference between Melanie Martinez's accuser and Michael Jackson's accuser is that, well, it's a fucking mountain. I don't know. I could go all day, but like, for one, Timothy Heller didn't sue Melanie Martinez for $1.5 billion. I think that's the easiest one. She didn't try to do anything for money or anything of the sort. I think that's the biggest kind of thing. But like, there's just so many differences that you can't really equate the two. I think it's very dismissive, and I don't know. It just seems like kind of weird for people to be like, well, Edwin, why you believe this? And also especially because I've been very, very expressive of the fact that I don't know what went on. Okay. I'm not preaching anti Melanie Martinez tweets or messages in my videos. If you're interpreting it that way, then tell me about it and we can talk about it and I can work on it, but that's not my intention. Whereas someone like Judd Apatow saying that Michael Jackson doesn't deserve to have his name on a VMA award, that's expressing distaste for Michael Jackson and an anti-Michael Jackson message. So there's a clear difference that these people that are trying to use everything against me they can always are not understanding. All right. That's my spiel.
Great points. Great points. No time for two shorts.
Wade said he was molested hundreds of times, but the timeline shows that his mother, him and his mother both said that they were only in Neverland 4 times. I think it was like Neverland. I think he just with Michael Jackson 4 times.
Yeah, he's been to Neverland a lot of times.
Yeah.
There.
How long is it gonna be? I think probably only like 15 more minutes or so. I think we're getting winding down now. It's been a pretty good. Good stream.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We had the whole penis discussion, so that went over. No one had
4 accusers doesn't mean there aren't more victims, but usually when 4 accusers come out this publicly, it would at least spawn some more victims, especially because victims shouldn't have to come out with an incentive of money. That's not really how it should be. I mean, if it's a secondary thing, then okay, but if it's primary, it really doesn't make sense. And also, 4 accusers that can be debunked to this extent is just wild to me.
Exactly. Get back into school.
Dang, I guess you were part of that conversation, huh, dear?
Where are people getting these information from? Like little page.
Dude, they were there. That's why.
Oh yeah, all of them were flies on the wall.
Dang it, I missed the penis conversation. Yes, I think we had it twice already. Guys, come on, let's stop talking about Michael Jackson's penis. And also, but you know what, since we're back on track, the Michael Jackson penis, I also read a forum that it was rumored that he had a very big penis. Which, okay, I'm just saying, so we're adding that on to the whole like rumors, he said, she said. Okay, I read that he had a big penis, and to be honest, I'm not gonna sit here and be like that's probably not true because he was black. So I don't want to. Is that bad to continue that stereotype that black people have big penises? I don't know. I know mine ain't like a black penis.
I'm holding on to a drink in the photo. It was a plastic bag wrapped around it. I don't know why I'm holding that, but.
Oh! In your picture.
Yeah. Someone's asking, what am I holding on to?
Yeah, it's got a spoon inside.
No, it's a plastic bag because the drink was too cold, so I wrapped the plastic bag around it. You can see the straw.
Anyway, let's not talk about the penis. Okay, also, I already got a big penis. I mean,
did you get the picture I sent you, by the way?
Do you send me a picture of his penis?
No.
Where do you send it to me? I mean, not that I want to see it. Where do you send it?
On Discord. It's not. It's an article about. Granted, if you put it on the screen, it would really. I think that would for anyone who thinks that the penis description's matched.
Okay. How do I download photos? Open. All right, let's see here. About since I guess we're talking about the penis some more. You know, you guys asked for it. It's all cyclical, right?
No, because to me, for me, like I actually did believe that it matched for a while. That was like one of my biggest reasons to believe the accusers, because that's what people were throwing around, right? And another thing that was crazy was when I was researching it, there was this guy named Terry George. He said that Michael Jackson had phone sex with him. That's what made me really, really uneasy. But then, like, you read more into it, and apparently he's like confessed to multiple people that Michael never did that, and he made that up to promote his phone sex business.
What?
Okay.
Another thing to keep in mind, I mean, like, see, I feel like saying something like this would be more so on the defense of Michael Jackson. But you gotta understand, refuting points that are against him is not defending him. But me going out of my way to say, something like, Michael Jackson was one of the most, if not the most sued celebrity alive, then that's probably me defending him. But it is something that, like, I don't know, that either you want to take it with a grain of salt, whether you think it matters or not.
That's more subjective.
Someone literally claimed to be Billie Jean and sued him for that. Anyways, let's see what this says. Michael Jackson's mother, who has steadfastly proclaimed her son's innocent and the face of allegation that he sexually molested a 13-year-old boy, has been ordered to testify by the grand jury, before a grand jury. In all the years of my experience, I've never seen the mother of the target of an investigation called before the grand jury. It's just done in real poor taste. It borders on harassment. Jackson's mother has frequently given interviews and made public appearances defending her son, but a source close to the investigation said she may be questioned about Jackson's physical appearance. Investigators have been attempting to determine whether Jackson has done anything to alter his appearance so that it does not match the description provided by the alleged victim, who turned 14 in January.
Yes, fair.
Wait, so what? That's what?
This is Michael Jackson's. This is during the criminal proceedings. The grand jury trying to see if they should indict Michael Jackson, right? But what they had was a penis description that didn't match. So they basically called to ask if Michael Jackson did anything to his penis.
So because it didn't match, they were like, "Wait, bro, are you sure it doesn't match? Can we look at it again? Or did you do something?"
So because Jordan Chandler said Michael was circumcised, right? And Michael Jackson was uncircumcised. So what a lot of people thought Michael did was that he had a foreskin retraction. So if Catherine Jackson testified that Michael Jackson was circumcised, then that would, I guess, prove their point.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yes.
All right, so.
Yeah. So this is from the grand jury.
I'm a little lost too, to be honest. I'm a little confused. So they.
I'll explain it one more time. So basically, after the settlement happened, right?
Yeah.
Criminal proceedings was ongoing.
Is this Chandler, by the way?
This is Jordan Chandler.
Okay.
He was the only one that ever gave a description.
Right.
So the criminal proceedings were happening, and the grand jury had to decide if they wanted to indict Michael Jackson, right? And it's very easy to indict someone. You can indict someone over a ham sandwich. That was like a joke back then. But what they had was that because Jordan Chandler was not able to testify because he didn't want to testify in a criminal case, all they had was Jordan Chandler's descriptions, right? So they found out that the descriptions did not match, right? Because Jordan Chandler said that Michael Jackson was circumcised and Michael Jackson was uncircumcised. So the grand jury basically didn't know what to do. So they obviously wanted to confirm that Michael Jackson has always been uncircumcised. So they called Michael Jackson's mother, Catherine, to come testify. And Catherine obviously confirmed that Michael was circumcised. Because if Catherine testified that Michael Jackson...
So I guess what wasn't clear to me from the article was whether she actually did confirm it or not. And she did.
Yeah, because Michael Jackson wasn't indicted. So.
That's so awkward. Like...
Imagine, for your son.
Like, yeah, hey, Mom, can you come to court and tell these people that what my penis looks like when I was a baby?
Yeah, because the vitiligo markings were irrelevant. Because the vitiligo markings would change. right? So that's what they had to go off of. And then people like to spin it as a birthmark or something like that. It's just untrue.
Right. People believe that he was bleaching his skin and all that. Anyways.
Yeah. To be fair, I think what happened was that the blotches got really bad on his skin. So what he did do was that he did even out the colors by bleaching it.
Okay.
But that was when the whites really took over his skin already.
How would a little boy really know? That's such a good point, you know, because there was actually, I saw a sketch where it wasn't his handwriting, but it was like suggested.
Yes, I'm gonna go into that in my documentary, but basically that was the leaked description that Jordan Chandler gave. But what a lot of people figured out was that that drawing looked more like coaching, right? It looked more like a grown-up's drawing, grown-up's writing. So it was Evan Chandler, Jordan's dad, basically coaching Jordan on what to say.
If you actually look at the picture, there's a leaked picture online. And then didn't it change? Didn't they like erase some of it later on?
Yes. In 2004, right, this point, 2004, during the trial, the leaked description of Jordan Chandler's drawing actually came out again, except this time the words at the top that said circumcised now photoshopped out.
Interesting.
Edited out.
Like,
right.
So you gotta understand, guys. Like his dad. I don't exactly remember why his dad saw Michael Jackson's ass, but like Jordan Chandler's father saw Michael Jackson and he saw the splotching. So that's how he gave a hint to his son, allegedly, on how to describe Michael Jackson's probable penis and how it probably looked like. Except when the police department went to look at it, literally, and take pictures of it, they said this is not what the description says.
Yeah, and to be fair, also Jordan Chandler gave a complete description of Michael Jackson's lower body, so that included buttocks as well. So he probably was able to clearly describe what Michael's butt looked like, because Evan obviously saw that. But the argument that Jordan Chandler did circumcised or uncircumcised it's ludicrous to me, because Jordan Chandler claimed that he had seen Michael's genitals from every possible direction. He was the one that was doing all these sexual acts on him, right? And if you are doing these things to someone, okay, let's say you're circumcised, an uncircumcised penis is going to look very different when you're stroking it, okay? So that argument just does not hold water with me, especially because Jordan Chandler will also have law enforcement people describing to him the difference between circumcised and circumcised.
Did we talk about the penis enough, guys? Or are you guys still want to argue that the penis is it? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Some people will still want to believe that, you know what, the kid did, like, I don't know. Like, and I don't know. It could just go forever with the whole penis thing.
We were looking at and a moonwalk. Yeah. I love you, Michael. Is that right?
That's what I wrote.
I was trying to play a YouTube video, but I don't hear the audio for some reason. Anyways, this con was uncomfortable. I know, too much penis talk, guys.
Yeah, too much, man.
Talk about the woman who worked for the prosecution that came out and defended Michael Jackson. I don't know who that one is. Do you know who that is?
The woman who what?
Do you know who the woman who worked for the prosecution that came out and defended Michael Jackson is?
There's most of the witnesses that the prosecution called turned out to be later to be defense, helping the defense more. So there's a bunch of them.
So I asked that one person to send me that article on Vanity Fair, but they never did. So I guess we can't go over it. I think we did a pretty good job though, guys. What do you guys think of the stream? I think the chat kind of like came down, or at least, right?
It's gonna be a 1 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10.
What do you guys think of the stream? How would you guys rate it from 0 to 10?
Oh, Gerald and Hughes, of course.
I know it's a very like uncomfortable conversation. Trust me, I had a pretty heated conversation with someone earlier, because like it is offensive to me when people say that, like that for one, like they think it's offensive, period, of me to even talk about this. And I'm like, it's offensive. It's like, yeah, it's offensive that you don't believe these victims. I'm like, do you know these victims' names? Do you know what these victims have said? And they're like, no, but there are children. There are many of them. I'm like, okay, but like, we're hitting a wall here. And like, yeah, well, this child said this. Like, yes, but he said this under this. And like, people just like all I'm trying to encourage is like to not shame me if you don't know like what, like if you're not ready to have a conversation one-on-one, then maybe just like be a little bit more open-minded. 7, 8, 10. Okay, I got some 10s. I don't expect a 10.
A 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 because there wasn't enough penis talk.
Not enough penis talk? Sorry, that's my reaction.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was researching that topic, right? 'Cause there were so many inconsistencies towards it. I was going to bed one day, and I closed my eyes. And that's like the only thing I could.
Oh my god! Jeez, all you could think about was Michael Jackson's penis. Jesus Christ, man.
I'm like, this is when I was really in during my second rebuttal video, because that was the serious one. My second rebuttal video, since that was the one where I really went into.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's how I evaluate like certain things as far as like victims' claims and stuff. I think that it's important to hear out the victims, you know, hear them out, but also evaluate in your mind like, okay, well, yes, you're a complete stranger to me. I can't blindly believe you. I need to hear you out. Otherwise, either you hear them out and you believe them, but don't get invested in when somebody else wants to disagree, or get invested and actually learn more into it, you know. But to blindly believe and just like defend them without actually investing the energy to look at all sides of the story is not the most responsible thing, in my opinion. You know, to get offended for all CSA survivors, it's just like a bit of a blind thing, because it seems kind of weird. Like it almost seems like they might be more detrimental to child sex abuse survivors, you know. I don't know. I just think it's weird. I think there's a lot of weird stuff. Should talk about Bryan Singer instead. I mean, I think that guy's like a sugar daddy for like young gay guys, and it's really weird. I've seen some videos on that. Look into it too. Bryan Singer, and it's so weird because I really like the X-Men movies.
Right. 8. Let's soon average these out.
Innocent people don't pay millions to make kids sign NDAs. Who signed an NDA?
Who signed an NDA? They all talk.
Yeah, they all literally talk. All kids have talked. This is all like State Clint. I wish you would come through on this phone call, because you're spewing a lot of things that I don't know who tells you these things, but like I would like to know, like, who told you this? Did the kids tell you these? And which ones? Yeah, we know what an NDA means. You don't have to say it. Non-disclosures. Yes, okay. Anyone who doesn't know, NDA is a non-disclosure agreement.
Edwin is always a 10. I just made him an 11.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, you guys, seriously, subscribe to Danny. All right? Let's get him to 8,000 subscribers. I think you had like 7.5 or something, right?
7.9 right now.
Oh, shit. We can get you. Guys, subscribe to Danny. Do you have a short URL name?
Yeah, it's just Danny Wu, YUE. But it's just Danny Wu on YouTube.
DANNYWU?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if you just search it, that's it. Wait, no.
Oh, okay, that's not it. That's not it. Guys, don't click that. I didn't even make it clickable. Search Danny Wu on YouTube. Or just
this one. Oh, shoot. It's Danny Wu and then YUE at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. Thanks, Danny. You're welcome.
Damn,
Gomer.
we didn't get one caller. That's crazy. Out of 2 hours. Damn it.
People were talking about, wait, can I actually call in? Like, I can go on this, or is there going to be a day? No, you can call in.
Yeah. I've been wanting people to call in. I should maybe. I don't know. I guess people come in different times of the show, so maybe I should have just limited it. I should have made this text.
That's MG Skin Court. He said, "Oh yeah, that's true." Gavin Arvizo was asked about blotches on his skin, and Gavin Arvizo replied, "I thought he was just."
Wait, what? Say again.
Gavin Arvizo.
Yeah.
The second accuser in court, they asked him about Michael Jackson's skin condition, like the splotches, and Gavin Arvizo replied that, "Oh, I thought Michael Jackson was just all white."
So he didn't even. Oh my God! So he didn't even know that he was.
Yeah. He also, Gavin Arvizo also never stayed alone in Michael Jackson's. That's how weak that case was.
Honestly, this is probably the first time some of these people that are against Michael Jackson, I've heard the names Gavin Arvizo, Jordan Chandler, those specific ones. The Wade Robson and James Safechuck probably more familiar because they're more recent.
OG Wiz has had it. K-Mania, call in.
Extradition bill that was passed sending people from Hong Kong back to mainland China to be killed. Excuse me? What the fuck? I'm fucking behind, guys. Shame on me. Oh.
Okay.
Just truth seeking. Me too, Stay Clint. Me too. That's what I'm saying. Where do you hear the stuff about NDAs? Because I've heard so many people speak about Michael Jackson, pro and bad.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, because you don't come from like a crazy fan perspective. It's we could get a more objective view going in, because a lot of Jackson really big fans.
Anyways, yeah, I guess we're just kind of chilling, guys. What's up?
Not everyone can fully research from 25 years.
No. Wait, someone said that again? Oh, then why are you saying things if they're not well researched?
I don't get it, man.
Why bring up the NDA if it's not
what
something
NDA,
normal?
man? What NDA? What NDA? Oh my gosh.
That's like me saying, like, imagine me just telling you something about Dion for that I didn't fully research. Like, well, sorry, I thought I heard that somewhere like 25 years ago. You know, like. Mania wants to know how to call. It's on the Discord, guys. You just add me and message me, and we can get down. But honestly, like, I'm running out of feel. I don't know how you feel, Danny.
Yeah, I feel like we did a pretty. I liked it a lot. It was very fun. I loved answering everyone's questions.
Yeah, it was a pretty well balanced, I think, overall. You know, I think it was like a good to get like a taste. I think it started out kind of like intensive, and then kind of went to like a good civil, and now it's like calm. People are like, I feel like we're all friends here now.
Exactly. We were searching for questions for us to discuss. You know, it wasn't like we were cherry picking questions.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Brian Dole brings up the interview with Piers Morgan. Like sometimes I wonder if like he picked that interview because he knows that Piers Morgan is known to be an asshole, and then Piers Morgan really like gave it to him or what? You know.
You thought Piers Morgan would have like bad facts, but Piers Morgan actually like destroyed him. And Piers didn't even know much, you know. Piers just like questioned him on his integrity.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I was like, damn. I don't even know much about Piers Morgan. I was like, and then I was showing it to someone. They're like, yeah, but Piers Morgan. I was like, okay, put that aside because what he's saying is very legitimate. You know, it's like if I were to show someone like Trump vouching for Michael Jackson, they'd be like, oh, but it's Trump. I'm like, okay, but this is before he was even president. This is way long ago.
Well, I'm at 7,931 now. 6 more.
Guys, there's 400 people in here. Wait, how many more?
I said that was crazy. I'm at 7,931. I just need 70 people.
Yeah, so you need like 70 more.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
It's lit. Dan Reed looks like an egg. Oh god, just like I think the MJ fans kind of. I'm not friends with Danny. Why?
Why, guys? Guys, be friends with Danny. Check out the link I just posted in the chat. Subscribe. I know it says there's 400 people in here. I don't know how many there actually is. Maybe YouTube is lying to me. Maybe there's only 20. But if we can get those 20 or 70 people to subscribe.
YouTube doesn't like. Thank you so much for this. I always feel so weird plugging myself on anything.
Dude, no worries, man. I think it'd be interesting if I could get your input. If I end up watching your thing and following the story on my own.
Oh gosh, no one heard that.
I didn't hear what you said. What did you say?
I just said I'll see you soon.
You said I'll see you soon? Oh yeah, no. Okay, well now everybody heard that. No, I'll see you soon. I think it'd be cool to collaborate on this sort of thing or in some way.
I know you got a great reaction out of it. People weren't like all negative. It's actually
right, and even some of the negatives like stayed through the show. You know, that's cool. Like it's cool that they're at least listening, and hopefully they'll come back. If people want to discuss this, my DM's on Instagram. You can DM me there, and we can talk about it. You know, I've been talking to quite a few people about it, and it's legit.
Who are these people? Thank you, Dilly Nilly. Thank you, Shania Carey.
So, wait, let me check Discord again because I don't know if somebody wanted. Nobody. Wait, I thought that Mania Girl wanted to come in and call. Well, I think that was all a prank. So I think let me see how many subscribers you're at right now, how close we are. But if not, I'm sure by the end of the night.
Yeah, it'll get there. I'm sure. Oh my gosh, it's at 7940 now. You're insane. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. This is wild. The power.
7940. That's not 8,000.
My Instagram, you actually gave me 10 Instagram followers too.
Oh hell yeah!
You're the clout king.
Not really. That's hardly anything. one day I'll have that kind of clout.
By the way, have you tried to verify?
Dude, I'm satisfied with my verified YouTube name.
Dude, I got Liam to verify his, and he actually got accepted.
On YouTube?
On Instagram.
Oh.
I feel like you could.
Maybe I could.
I have like some friends from like high school.
Liam is more popular though. He's got like a lot of followers, doesn't he?
Oh, he's got the BTS fan. He's exactly popular, especially with the BTS fans. They see him on the street and they love him.
Yeah.
someone said, "Am I holding on to the?"
Look, at least you've swayed me to look into it a little bit further, but I still think he's suspicious as hell. No. Nobody's arguing against that, CR. Michael Jackson, weird fucker. But hey,
now,
what kind of icon in history isn't a weird fucker? Elvis, weird fucker. Kanye West, weird fucker. Still alive, so you might argue against.
What's her name? Nat is DYW.
Are you trying to say your username? Because oh shit, I think it says my thing. Okay, it's resuming. The freaking stream keeps ending. I don't know. I think I have to lower the bitrate. But
I go to ask my Instagram. It's
type it on the chat so it's more visible.
BYWoo. One of the only 4-letter Instagram names.
No offense to anyone, just my fully researched homeboy. You just said that you just admitted to not being fully researched like 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
It was State Clint. Hold on, let me find the receipt real quick.
Can we get this person on, please?
I wish. I can't find it. The chat doesn't show the old chat, but he had literally just said that he didn't have the research that he did 25 years ago or something like that. Anyways, yeah,
that's my friend Jenny. That's my friend Jenny. She was the girl that she actually been to Michael Jackson. She's been to Michael Jackson's room.
Hey, stop using the word weird. Look, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be weird, alright? I'm just saying it's like very eccentric. Eccentric fuckers. You're right. You know what? Eccentric is better. I'm an eccentric fucker. I'm a weirdo.
Because weird people think about like wacko and stuff. So,
yeah.
Eccentric.
The thing is that everybody has secrets. I could tell you something about myself that I know is not societally accepted that you guys would probably think I'm a weird fucker for. And again, like we're talking about the context and like a weird thing, like a negative thing. It's not negative. It's positive. But, you know, people hate on this kind of person.
I was at Neverland with Gavin and Michael. Yes, she was. She was at Neverland with Gavin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She had a silly string fight with Gavin on the day that Gavin.
Oh shit! This is. Wait, she in your video?
Yeah.
All right. Well, shit, man.
Johnny, can you just wait one more month?
Listen. This is the wind down of the episode. The people that heard it all here. Okay, we got Jenny in the house. We got Danny in the house. I'm telling you. So this is more reason to subscribe to Danny. Okay, subscribe to him. He'll keep you posted. I'm sure he'll have a video soon in the next couple weeks with the bigger announcement.
Yeah. Maybe even this coming week. Oh, that was so funny. Oh my gosh, I'm good.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's it. Cool. Let me see. Anything else going on in my life here? Yeah, the guys, the Amber Walter Shannon Rose video that I'm working on right now is just so wild. Everybody was such a mob mentality against this girl Amber Rose YouTuber, and it's so interesting. It's so interesting to me that everybody just believes Shannon Rose. And here's something that I think is wild when people when people believe something against somebody else, when you're friends with someone and somebody makes like an accusation of somebody in your friend circle and you're a friend of that person being accused, if you're not even asking for their side of the story, I think you're failing. I think as a good friend or as a decent human being, you should try to see what they have to say about it. Because guess what? Years later, it might turn out that the friend you trusted was wrong, and that's not cool. Another more recent example is I'm Alex and the whole I'm Slazo thing, right? I'm Slazo. No, but like it's just like so weird to me. Like imagine you were accused of something and your closest friends didn't even bother asking for your side of the story. That's what's going on in this Shannon Rose story. And also like this whole Michael Jackson thing, I do like just to bring it back, I guess. Like imagine if it's one of your family members or your friends, you know. I feel like you would want to give them the same kind of respect of looking into their perspective and like seeing what they have to say, seeing their defenses, and not just hear just because, well, I read this, everybody says this, you know, everybody believes it, so I will too. But when it comes to someone that you know, like, is that the same kind of treatment that you're gonna give them? Or why are we being selective? Why don't we treat all human beings in the same world? I mean, the same way, you know, because we are the world.
Especially not here anymore. Especially someone who's not here anymore.
Especially when they're dead and they can't even defend themselves anymore, you know. Yeah, like, you know, we are the world, you know what I mean? Why? Tell them that it's human nature. Shit. But yeah, other than that, like the Shannon Rose is probably the next one. The next video after that is probably gonna be the big bangers with the D'Antford story, really fucking big. And then I think I want to do a live stream because I want to do a live stream like every week, you know. I don't want if I don't have, because usually I do a live stream after I post. But if I don't have a video to post, I want to pick a topic kind of like this and kind of just like boom, let's talk, you know, not debates, just discussions, and maybe have a co-host. I think that's fun. And
said as soon as I got into I'm Alex, he got into a controversy. Better not do this to me again. Oh no, what's gonna happen?
What happened? As soon as I got into I'm Alex, he got into freaking controversy. Oh. Oh yeah. No, Danny's up and coming. Okay, if he gets into controversy, it'll be a while. He's getting to the 8,000 guys. Come on, support him so he can get to the point where he can be controversial.
Yeah, I need to make the controversy. Oh, thank you, Rose.
Yes, Shannon the crawfish stomper, I guess. And you know, I actually read it was crayfish stomper, so I'm confused. Crayfish, crawfish, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I also want to do a live stream like this about the Melanie Martinez video that was done against me. It was 2 hours long, but I haven't watched it yet. But I want to live react to it on a live stream. So if I don't have any topic to talk about next week or the week after, that'll probably be my next live stream, I guess. So keep an eye out for that. I'll definitely announce it like at least 24 hours before. Who is Bianca Devins? I think that's that one girl that was murdered, right? We shouldn't be imbalanced in this way. I believe we generally give those closer to us the benefit of the doubt because we have seen more examples of their personality and character firsthand. Exactly. That's why we should sort of at least apply that with others. I didn't really look much into Bianca Devins, guys. I'm sorry. Why? Well, yeah, the Amber Walterson and Shannon Rose might be a two-parter because it's a lot of content. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Edwin, that would be like 4 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna play that stream on like 1.25 speed or something. I don't know. I have to figure it out because it's a 2 hour stream against me. I'm like a 2 hour video against me, and I'm like, damn it. I can't. I'm not even following up that Melanie Martinez series right now, and like it's like, oh, I can't watch it. You don't want to get into this controversial shit, man. After this, do different types of videos. I'm just kidding. So, anyways, yeah, you don't have to stay in the call, by the way. I just kind of talking about whatever now. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Oh, okay, I was just saying.
I was checking my phone.
I'll probably end it for real in like 5 minutes. I'm just kind of talking with the chat. What happened to the Timothy Heller video? Well, what happened was. Was that?
No, nothing. Sorry, I was reading something. I just laughed. Keep going.
Well, what happened with the Timothy Heller video was that shortly after I made it, I went on a trip to Mexico. That was when I went to Puerto Vallarta, and then I got back, and then the D'Antford story landed on my lap, and then I was like, whoa, what the fuck? So I kept pursuing that, and then more time happened until the point where I think Melanie Martinez's album comes out next month. So I'm like, well, okay, let me work on different stories because I don't want to get in the way. I literally already had Melanie Martinez fans accuse me of releasing the interview on the day that she's releasing her album, and I'm like, what? No. On the contrary, I don't want people to think that like they thought that I'm trying to mess with their record sales, and I'm like, as if I had that kind of power. 1, 2, I'm not even working on that. So I'll probably wait like a month or so after I post that, because like the last thing I need is Melanie Martinez like fans just coming after me, assuming that I have some ill intent or something of the sort. Crayfish and crawfish are the same thing? Why do they switch the letter? Yeah, so it'll be a really long live stream, guys, but I'll let you guys know like a day in advance. Is Timothy a girl? That's strictly a male-only name. Yeah, you're right. I guess. Yeah, but it is a girl. We're not talking about MJ anymore. Yeah, that's right. We're now. It's Ogre, guys. This is the after show. I remember when Shannon Rose and Amber drama and watching video of both of them in court on YouTube. I know that court video is fucking hilarious. I'm like, excuse me, this judge does not want anything to do with either of you. Does one have claws? I think that it's a really sick video, guys. If you guys look it up on Twitter or somehow, you could probably find it. Shannon Rose stomping on a crayfish, and it's like, what's gross about it is that she's taunting it, you know? Like, it's one thing because people will argue like, well, we eat crawfish all the time, you know, we eat it, yeah. Well, first of all, I don't. I'm plant-based, but you know, people will argue, oh, so what's the difference between that and that? Well, for one, Shannon Rose is like taunting it and laughing at it and stomping in a weird maniacal way, and she's not even eating it. She's just killing it for fun. Who does that? Will you post a stream? Likely not. I'll leave it unlisted for like a day or so. But I'll put it on my Patreon, which I don't plug enough. I have a Patreon. Do you honestly believe that Neverland, an amusement park, was not a red flag, that he was grooming and luring children?
Oh gosh, let's not get back in.
Unfortunately, we're finished with that conversation, but geez, give me some context to make me believe it. You know, in the TV show Legends of Tomorrow, one of the adults in that show built an amusement park for himself. Huh. He probably wanted to just lure children. I think it's that sinister thinking, guys. Like I said, when I was growing up, it wasn't that weird to go outside and play with strangers and stuff, but like society has just changed, and it is what it is.
Very true.
Shannon was vegan, she says, but I don't. According to the upcoming video, she never actually was. So you'll see. Lots of receipts. I just wanted to say I love that you always have one dangling earring in your ear. It's cute. Your girlfriend is hella cute. Sorry about the skinwalker. Okay. Thank you for the comment.
Oh yeah, Jenny could definitely debate that one.
If I could have Neverland in my house, I would in a heartbeat.
Yes.
That sounds so cool.
You got an amusement park. Come on.
Seriously.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Do adults not enjoy amusement parks? Am I missing something? Because I would love to go to an amusement park.
My dad likes climbing trees. Michael Jackson likes climbing trees.
Wait, your dad likes climbing trees? Bro, uh-oh. Red flag.
Uh-oh, move me out. But, you know, they made it seem so weird in Leaving Neverland. But that's what my dad did growing up in China. He just climbed trees all the time. There's not much to do.
All right, guys. I think by reading that comment out loud, I try to have that D person out of my like lives. I don't like to give her attention. I know that she's still always talking. They never stopped. It's fine, but we're not trying to give her that kind of attention, because then you speak that name into existence and it'll amplify, and it's scary. I think you lean towards people you are associated with, Timothy, Eugenia, and now Johnny. Well, I think that's a misconception, because I actually lean towards my personal beliefs and where I stand. It is something that I'm working on, but as far as Eugenia, I don't know why you think this, because I was actually against the things that Jacqueline was doing, and with Timothy, I related to my own life experiences, and I debunked a lot of what Melanie was saying. But I never said that what happened will happen. You know, I didn't say that Melanie raped Timothy. I never said that, ever. You can't find that receipt because I never said it. And Johnny, I don't know what you're talking about. All my video, my last video didn't mention her name, and my future videos will also not mention her name. I've been talking to over 24, well, maybe probably about 20 people that have been directly associated with DeAntford. This isn't about Johnny. This is like bigger than Johnny. Like, this is really fucking big, and like people want to dismiss it as like, oh well, you know, it's probably because you're just biased. Everyone's like, okay, sure, you can think that. You can think that, but also at least listen to the information that I'm giving out. Please, that's all I'm asking. Have you tried to get Emma for an interview on her side for the whole thing? I think I don't think Emma wants to talk to me. I did actually message her before she made her video about me. I said, hey, if you want to talk, I'm available. I don't think I followed her, but she blocked me, and then she unblocked me, and then she went on a Twitter rant about me. I was like, okay. And then I found out that she's dating a manipulative guy that lied to 2 women, dated 2 women while he was dating her. And I'm like, okay, cool. So you want to shame me because I, quote unquote, defended an abuser, when here you are dating an emotional abuser. Sorry, I just went off. You guys, sorry, shit. Sorry guys. Anyways, you guys can say like, there's like certain words that just make me go off. Oh god, I just let the dog go barking crazy. But certain words just make me go off on this kind of stream, you know. Okay, Charlie, that's enough barking. I thought that if I let him go, he would not bark, but that was wrong. Oh, damn it. All right, Danny. You know what? You have to talk to chat. Promote yourself some more. I'll be right back.
Okay. What's up, everyone? What's up? Does anyone want to talk? Follow me on Instagram at Divabu, YouTube. Yeah, he's back. Where's the dog? What car do I drive? What's my passion? I used to be basketball. I got injured pretty badly twice, so I had to stop playing that. But now it's in. Hi, Boogie Monster Mom. What did I eat for lunch? I don't know. I don't think I had lunch yet.
All right, guys. We got a special guest appearance from my mom.
I am single. No, I am single. I am single.
Oh shoot! No way, he's single. More reason to follow him on that Insta.
Yeah, how long have I've been researching Michael Jackson since March.
What are your thoughts on John Zingler? What did you answer to that?
No, I declined to answer that.
Really? Okay, we'll just leave it at that. I didn't know much about him, but
I think he's done a great job defending Michael Jackson. I'll keep it there.
Oh, but he's got different kinds of opinions on different things.
I mean, I don't know. I've been.
Okay, no comment. We'll leave it there. I've only listened to a few podcasts, but
my Twitter.
Before I ended my stream, I wanted to introduce the one, the only.
How old are you? I'm 23 years old.
Guys, this is my mother.
Hi.
Aw, hello.
How are you guys? Is anyone?
Wow, there's 300 people.
Oh, this dog is annoying. Sit down, boy.
What kind of dog do you have?
I don't even know. This isn't my dog. This is my brother's girlfriend's dog, and he likes girls a lot. I mean, my mom doesn't live here, and he's like wants her attention.
I think it's a boy or a girl.
Charlie? Yeah, boy.
He's gay.
What? He wants your attention.
Oh, I guess he's not gay. Anyway,
Hi.
I'm laying down in Edwin's bed. Excuse me, guys.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks for an awesome live stream. I'm gonna end it. Make sure you subscribe to Danny.
Stay
Check out his
down.
videos.
Down.
Thank us for staying open-minded and educated. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much, everyone. Have a great day.
All right. Cheers.